Maybe. I don't think so. It's not kicking in over here.
You're not gonna hear it there. Whatever.
It's fine.
Just waiting for syndication.
Wolf will work out. Have to be on time to do that.
To the flummery.
You have like not heard it before?
No, I've only heard that. La, 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 la.
Oh, okay.
There we go, kids. You're live.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the Flummery 52. You can watch us here on YouTube Live, or you can catch us on iTunes and Podbean once the remastered editions are released.
Uh-oh, stop.
Are you sure I need to stop?
The stream is not healthy.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Can you see it?
Once the remastered, it's that double tone again.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll just do this right here.
The thing you did last time.
There you go. Not healthy. Good now.
All right, we're gonna start this over. So that'll be in the live version, but not in the remastered edition. Welcome to the Flummery 52. You can watch us here on YouTube Live when we tell you, and only when we tell you, or you can catch us on iTunes and Podbean once the remastered editions are released. If you want to contact us, please email us at theflummerypodcast@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook Overlord Edition. With the news today, let's try and stay positive. And with that
Bullshit.
being said, this was bullshit.
This is number one bullshit.
I'd like to welcome our guests and friends, Mike McMahon and Jack Casey. And yes, Mike McMahon and Jack Casey. Did I say Casey?
Jack Meyer.
Why did I say Casey?
Is that a porn star name?
I assume that was
And
some
yes,
sort of
they
cute
are
nickname
spies.
you guys had for each other.
Gave away my alias.
Why did I say Jack Casey?
Well, thanks for that warm
That's a
welcome,
porno
Adam.
name.
It's
He's
great
been
to be
watching
here.
Oh my god, that is fucking embarrassing for you. I mean,
Right.
I'm fine.
Probably about as memorable as this podcast is.
Speaking about the news, you guys, abortion, Russia, Trump, and what else should we talk about today? Just kidding, we're not doing that.
I was under the impression that we were here to talk about The Replacement starring Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
And what was it you said? I think that
That's all I know about
Only-
it, is that those two were in it.
that was all you were going to talk about, right?
Yeah, that's my contribution there.
Did you well, okay, so let's just set something straight here. These two gentlemen work at, and we're gonna go ahead and boost our favorite bar right now too. Work at and also, like co-own, I suppose too, right? Am I supposed to say that?
They work at Casey's
You can-
convenience
you can
store.
say that.
Why the fuck did I say Casey's? Well, anyway,
This is Jack Casey.
there's a local restaurant and eatery and bar called B52. It's in Inver Grove Heights on Highway 52, just off Highway 52. I think you get a discount on your drink with a movie
Is it
stub
Bishop
from the nearby
Avenue?
AMC.
That's correct.
And it's a great place, but it's not the only reason they're on. They're on because they're our friends and we have a good time and we like to bullshit. So this is also serving as your adult content warning. If you're under 18, get the fuck off of YouTube and go do something outside. I don't care how cold it is.
Have you guys ever been on YouTube before? Is this a new thing for you?
This is
YouTubes?
Yeah.
This is my first experience.
You never put like any
First
like
timer.
Fucking cherry popping.
Voyager videos up of yourself? Or
No, I mean I've been on RedTube before. But
Oh, that's good.
I like RedTube.
Under the alias Jack Meyer.
Jack, I'm gonna go down on you for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes, that is exceptional. Well, I got a couple of things, and I mean honestly, this week for me, trying to avoid the fucking news was all about like watching Netflix and watching trailers for new movies and stuff. So, is there anything you guys are excited about coming out?
excited about.
Or have you seen anything recently?
I was big into 3 Billboards. I saw that a couple times in the theater.
Oh, you saw it twice?
Yeah, saw it twice.
Nice.
I love that movie.
Oh, that was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. I rented that twice, and
Did you?
I liked.
Because you didn't watch it the first time. I do that a lot.
No, why did I say twice?
Like fall asleep or what?
No, like where I'll get
What the fuck is the matter with me today?
get the
I rented that.
I'll get the red box, and like 3 days later, it's like, oh fuck, I got to return this. I can't continue paying for this thing that I'm not going to watch. And then when I'm
What's the fees on those now?
truly prepared to watch it, I'll rent it again.
You're sitting in.
Otherwise, I'll just buy the shit. If
I just want to
I'm
sit
gonna
on
rent
the
it and
couch.
watch it twice.
Is it still a buck for those?
No, it's like $1.50, something like that.
Yeah. I haven't done Redbox in a grip, so rent them on Microsoft now.
Nobody's used the word a grip in a grip.
A grip, bro.
Are you dating me?
I still listen to.
Are you dating me?
I still listen to
No
CDs
touching.
in my car, too,
Lance,
by the way.
no touching on the podcast. Do you?
Mhm.
That's awesome. I've got a
Every
6
once in a
CD
while.
changer in my car, and there's 3 CDs in there.
Just nothing but dust.
Right. I'm pretty sure the other 3 slots don't work anymore.
No.
Well, as far as dating myself and you're talking movies, I can honestly tell you the last movie I saw in the theater was Passion of the Christ.
Shut the
Are you
fuck up.
Wow. What was that?
You were
Did
that
I
I
into
swear to Christ.
you were that into Passion of the Christ.
No, actually, my parents made me go.
Yes.
That was like 02, 03.
You-
Wow, that's the last time.
a
you went to the
church
theater?
thing?
That was 2 or 3 years after The Replacement.
I just went and saw A Quiet Place yesterday. I recommend that movie highly.
Yeah, I do want to see that.
That's a great effing movie.
So out of all the movies on the list here, so the new Avengers movie that'll be coming out, Pacific Rim, Ready Player One, Upgrade,
Rim
A Quiet
job.
Place, Annihilation, or Tomb Raider. Which one are you most excited to see?
Annihilation's like already out of theaters.
Yeah.
I was
Is
super.
it
I was,
out?
I was super
Yep.
excited to see that.
Yeah, I was gonna go
It
see
didn't
it,
happen.
and then I realized that it's not there. It's
Yeah.
not at
It
AMC
did
anymore.
that poorly.
I guess so. I think
I was-
it's a very niche community that's familiar with the books,
Okay.
and then
I'm not familiar with the books. I
Is
just
that
thought
what
it
it
looked
is?
fucking epic.
yeah, it's like the first of 3 books.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm kind of excited about that too. Then
Check it out.
it's just
I
a
didn't
bummer
see it.
because you might have been smelling beef jerky burps.
Yeah, Adam packs the smells when he comes in. That's for
Just
sure.
beef jerky. Just beef jerky.
with these 5'5" ceilings and no ventilation, I think we're all kind
Yeah.
of packing the
I,
smells.
I thought I'd be cold, so I wore a sweatshirt, and now I'm sweating. I mean, there's 2 reasons I'm sweating.
Yeah, probably because he had a beef stick. before
No,
he came in
I'm
here.
nervous.
Why?
These
This
guys.
is all full of beef.
Oh, Jack Casey's here.
Right.
Why the fuck? I don't even know a Jack Casey. So now I have to try and figure out how my brain did that.
That's okay. We'll let it slide.
We were friends when you walked in here.
Fucking embarrassing, man. I even wrote it down that way.
You wrote it down as Jack Casey.
And I'm sending you messages. It says Jack Meyer every time I send you a message.
That is actually a great character name, though.
Is Jack Casey a
Casey.
person? Is what I'm curious about. I feel stupid for not knowing that. But
Well,
is that like
that's what I'm here
a
for.
porn star or something?
Yeah,
You
that's
guys talk.
that's
That's what I'm here for.
I think that's what Adam's getting at. That's
It's-
his favorite.
It sounds like it would be like
It's his favorite piece of dick to look at.
it sounds like it would be the main character of like North by Northwest
Look
or one
at
of
that
those old movies.
foreskin. Jack Casey, IMDb. Oh, he is a very famous old time actor.
Okay, yeah, no, I knew that sounded like he would be in some Hitchcock
What's he look like?
flick or 2.
He's maybe not that old.
Is he a director?
2017, Paula.
He did all of the makeup for Planet of the Apes.
I don't think he's
That's a
that.
hefty job, man.
There's no picture of him.
The original Planet of the Apes? Is that what we're talking about?
He can't be that important.
Heston was a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wow, that's so real.
How do you do
Jack
Charlton
Casey.
Heston's voice? The Saddle King and Valley of Terror. 19.
He's pretty quiet these
1957.
days.
Oh.
Too soon?
There is, yeah, he's a oldie but a goodie. It must have been the one that seeped into my brain for some reason. I have no idea why that would happen, but
Did you
I
know
don't
that?
think
Did you know that Heston means to poop yourself in German?
really?
Really?
My name's
No, I think that's actually a 30 Rock joke. That show was good.
No, Miss Lemon.
they had to change all the movie posters in Germany for the 10 Commandments because Heston is to poop yourself.
Is that like San Diego's whale's vagina?
Right.
Is that kind of same thing?
San Diego.
Well, at least I wonder if they had to change anything for the poster for the rural juror. Holy fuck, that was one of the first things I ever. 30 Rock was one of the first shows I ever just loaded up. It was like 5 episodes a day.
Locked yourself away from your family, and
I watched the whole thing in probably a month.
Yeah.
And how many seasons? There's like 10 seasons or something, isn't
I
there?
think they wound up doing 7, but I believe the 4th was in the middle of the writer's strike, so they only did like 10 episodes or 14 episodes.
Do you remember which dial Jack's microphone was?
5. So it's the one. Yeah, 5th one.
Are you talking about
talk a little bit.
Jack Donaghy from 30 Rock?
We should, yeah.
Jack Dempsey.
There you
Hey,
go.
I can hear in
That's a
both
good
my
one.
ears now. That's
That's
nice.
better.
Good job. How'd you do that?
What, volume?
Oh, okay. Next time, remember that. Next time, remember that. Okay?
Note to self.
When I'm setting this shit up, it's not going to be right.
Jack Casey.
I'm Jack Casey.
I feel like
I'm going to tap dance in this movie.
So my question on the whole 30 Rock thing, did you load all this up on like the WB?
No, it
Or
was
You just camp out and channel
Netflix
23
still.
for...
It was Netflix still. They were on Netflix several years ago, and that's pretty much when I watched it. I don't know if they're on Netflix anymore. I think they are, but
they're slowly paring it down. What their business plan is to be nothing but original content within 2 or 3 years.
see, I don't get that. It's
Well, they've hijacked Hollywood. Like they've got all these big names, directors and stars and everything.
So it's kind of an HBO thing.
They dropped like $3.2 billion on it or something like that to essentially just take over, absolutely rewrite the way movies are made.
Is it just
And
Well, HBO kind of started that trend.
Spielberg is pissed. You say HBO?
I said HBO kind of started that trend.
Oz, was that their first one, or was
Probably
Sopranos maybe?
or Oz. One of the two of them was probably their first real big one.
Did
Oz,
anybody try to do Oz all the way through?
I had to.
It is off the fucking rails by
the end?
by
Yeah.
season 4 or 5. When
You know what the
Ghost.
thing about that is? Every time they would get into the hardcore fucking, I would be like, I can't.
I was gonna say
I'd take a week off.
the gay sex is what really drew me in, and then it didn't pan out.
I mean,
it
it's
didn't pay
exciting.
off.
if there was a working actor in the late 90s whose penis you wanted to see, you should probably just watch Oz. Like, if you want to see Christopher Maloney's penis,
Right.
it's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Classic Maloney baloney.
Dean Winters, hours. If you just edited it from beginning to end, you have a clean 5 hours of Dean Winters' penis.
So Mike is here for remembering every single name in Hollywood, just so you know, somehow, which is awesome.
And penises apparently.
Penis.
Penis.
Lance, you got to move left.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
Lance isn't moving far right now.
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm fucking rough today.
Why? What happened, buddy? Did you
Yeah.
get in a fight with Matthew McConaughey last
I
night?
decided, well, when you go to the bar at 6 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
it's
That's when you
it's a long
started.
night.
But then
Yeah.
what happened?
Then I got with a bunch of friends, and there's 5 of us, so Fireball got involved with all 5 of us, and then one round came, and then the other person's like, well, I gotta buy a round, and then the next round came, and then the third person's like, I gotta buy a round,
Yep.
and then the fourth person, Kester's like, I gotta buy a round, and I'm like, well, I can't get out of this without buying a round of shots, so round 5 of shots come along, about 2.5 hours in, and a few beers, and I'm good to go.
And then he had a run in with Jack Casey.
I drank
Guess
some
what?
water, though. A little bit of water.
Guess what, Lance?
Found Jack Casey.
I've
leaned
never
up
been
against the tree
happier.
in a zoot suit, flipping a coin.
You want to hear something? Some chick fucking OD'd in the bathroom at Egan. One of the
Really?
workers like shot up in the bathroom.
Oh,
It was
she's
like,
cool.
Oh man,
Like Doug Balsamo's wife found her in there, and she was like
Where in Egan?
on a toilet, just like
no good.
on the heroin.
Did she have some
There's a-
naloprene or whatever it's called? What's the heroin overdose thing?
I don't know.
Oh, like
It's not something I partake in regularly. I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
methadone? Is that the word
No,
you're looking
it's,
for? That's not for. adrenaline.
The anti-OD
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
Epinephrine.
No, that's not it. But I'll
that they
find it.
stab into the heart.
remember Lance from fucking
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, oh,
Lance.
yeah.
Yeah, Eric Stoltz played Lance.
Was it Eric Stoltz?
Yeah,
second best movie behind his completely worthless character in Anaconda. Anybody?
Naloxone or Narcan.
Narcan. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was pretty
You
good
remember
in
the
Fast
movie
Times.
Mask?
I do.
Yes.
He played that character.
Did he play
too.
the mask guy?
Rocky? Was his name Rocky?
The
Rocky.
handicap?
Yes.
The handicapped fella?
He's the guy that had like
The gentleman with the face.
I don't know what the condition was, but he had
You know, the
He,
guy
like-
with the face.
it was like elephantitis of the head or something like that. You know?
Yeah, it was some made-up condition, I'm pretty sure.
Cher got an Oscar for that, I believe.
Yeah. Wasn't Sam Elliott?
Sam Elliott, yeah.
Really?
Let's
Yeah,
take-
he was the
He was the
She was-
Cher's love
gonna-
interest.
Yeah.
He was the Dwight Yoakam
I'm gonna
character.
say that again, by the way. Cher got an Oscar for that one.
Was she wearing fishnet stocking panties or pantyhose?
I don't recall, but if I could turn back time,
Hey-yo.
there we go.
Oh.
I smoke less cigarettes.
She's doing fine.
Doing
Better than Sonny.
she
Got a
might
lot of
be
plastic
a fake
surgery
person.
going on.
She might not be a real person anymore. She might be the first experiment.
She and Sonny are both
Well, her
being propped up by a tree.
she's got a daughter that's a dude now.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's
Say,
right.
I was
Chaz.
Chaz.
Bono.
Right?
Good for him.
They went through the. I forget whatever pronoun you want to call him. Did he went through the surgery? Did he get surgery?
It's a he now. Yep.
Yeah.
Get the boobs removed and stuff.
Got the whole works. Yep. He did like a season or two of American Horror Story.
Oh yeah.
He was out there. Yeah, he was acting a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah. He was an early advocate for the whole. Not transgender
Right.
stuff has been around forever, but
Yeah.
help
That's fine.
put an early face on it. Somebody who was unabashed
Yeah.
about it, so that's cool.
Not his original face, but
I
Not the one that God
Slightly
gave
hairier
him.
face.
right.
Not the one that God gave him.
I don't even think
What
I've
kind,
ever.
what
I,
kind
I,
of, I wonder what kind of razor
I'm not-
Chaz uses.
I don't think you use one. I think you cherish that hair that you can.
Motorola.
You
So?
can bring in.
Bring
I,
it?
yeah, it's
He's
it's
like-
a less than.
Dollar Shave
He's-
Club for Chaz. Or
He's
no?
like, thank you.
I think you paid
Thank you for
paid a lot of money
allowing
for that facial
me
hair.
to do this, God or heaven or whoever. And now bring on the pubes on my face.
I was gonna say everybody's got those.
Did he just go down left field?
Face pubes.
Oh,
That's what your beard is face pubes.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you know that?
Chicks dig it.
You get that in puberty, Lance. Have you ever heard of it?
Mhm.
Lance likes to ignore puberty. It keeps his sex
I'm
life
still looking
alive.
for it.
Lance,
Forward to it.
Lance has the finest beard of anybody I know in real life. Actually,
Only because it's sculpted. It's very metro of you to have
kind
that
of a
beard.
kind of an Opie from
I did.
Sons of Anarchy.
I did
look.
just have
Yeah.
a haircut and a beard trim
That's cool, man.
It looks good.
That looks super nice.
by my gay barber Kenneth.
Cool. Is he gay? How do you know he's gay? Did he hit on you?
Just know
That's cool.
it's great. He gives great head massages though.
Did he say my name's Kenneth and I'm the gay barber?
Hi, I'll be your gay barber today. No,
No.
no. So I just
Welcome to Gay Kenneth.
I recommend Roosters and
when you
Woodbury.
said he
That's where I
gives
go.
a great head
I've been meaning to
massage.
try that.
I did
Yeah.
not hear the massage part.
I just went there on a whim and I'm going back every time now.
Yeah, I had a little guy once upon a time, and I actually followed him. This is how good he was. He was a little Vietnamese man who worked.
Were you trying to bait him or something? Come here, little Chinese.
No, if you would have seen this guy,
Picked him up like a basketball.
you would realize that he was the bait.
We can use them for bait and fishing or something, or what?
No, he was
Snatch
down.
a carp out the
He
river.
was down in a place on Cahill, like over by Aldi or something like that. Then he
All
moved.
these nuts.
Then he moved. That's clever.
Sorry, go on.
Then he moved
Yeah, that's
down
brilliant.
onto like Southview, and then I don't think he's
Oh, you followed him.
in this country anymore. I literally followed this guy at night.
He was that good.
No, I asked him. I was like, "Hey, do you know where Fee wound up?" And somebody working there knew where he was. And I went.
Cool.
I went, and he wasn't working at this place. And I went back another day to see if he was there. And yeah, he was my guy for a little while.
Got a stalker
yeah.
here.
His name was Fee.
Fee. Vietnamese. Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. I wish I could find somebody that
You
was.
just be like, feet. How about
Good.
some fa?
How about some pho, Fee?
Uh,
Fee, fi, pho, fum.
At the
How tall was he? Like 4'10"?
oh, okay, you just
He was
fit him right
4'10".
in your little pocket.
Did he live in this house?
Probably.
The Shire.
Anyone's a happy little Asian.
I need to get round doors.
You do.
Oh, you tip so well.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna get you those for your 111th birthday. It's a Hobbit.
coming up.
It's a
Is that
Hobbit.
a-
coming up?
It's a Hobbit reference.
It's coming up.
Is that 11,100?
That is the birthday that's being celebrated by Bilbo in the Fellowship of the Rings.
Oh, that's right.
They do live that old, don't they?
They do. They're so little.
111.
We will eventually too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no,
Yeah.
we won't.
I'm just gonna have new
There are
body
a lot,
parts.
lot of forces. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but there's a lot of forces at work keeping
Right.
keeping us from doing that.
You don't
Who
think
would want to?
Yeah,
Oh.
no shit.
I don't know.
I'd like to make 100,
Stem
and there's
cells.
no way that's happening.
I would be such
Obviously.
I would be such a miserable 100-year-old.
You wouldn't like little Asian hairdressers anymore, or barbers.
Oh, I'd
anymore.
have such a collection. I wouldn't.
I could see you picking them up by his head.
I'd be
like,
so bored of them.
this
by then.
is the best barber in town.
Just store them
Sorry,
in a little
Pete.
cabinet like the Precious Moments dolls, you know, like your grandma's got in the case in the living room.
They all smell like mothballs.
Delving deep into the Asian jokes, and I like it. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, you should try that Roosters out though, Mike.
I will.
It's a good place. You get 2 hot towels on your face during your deal.
Where is
too.
Roosters? Stop saying stuff about your
Woodbury, right?
It's Woodbury. Yeah, it's like radio in Valley Creek right
Oh,
there.
that's
I've
easy.
been Jake Heyman once upon a time recommended to me after I lost my fee, which I don't want to talk about anymore on this.
It's a sore topic.
He recommended to me the barbershop in Woodbury, and they do a pretty good job. They cut a good hair.
Its original name.
I can't.
It's called the barbershop.
The barbershop for men, yeah. It's over by like Dick's.
the-
Also a good name.
Dicks. I love how big the sign is.
For Dick's.
Just walk by. If you don't know it's a sporting goods
It's an
store, you just,
enormous
The
dick.
fuck?
Aren't they originally from the South? Isn't it like a Texas company or something like
that
that?
makes sense. They don't get
I
it.
don't know.
Fuck.
I don't know because they're
What do you think?
they're
of Texas?
altering their gun
love it.
selection and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
Everybody is.
That does not scream Southern-based company to me.
Right, exactly. Because
Like, you'd think they'd dig their heels in a little bit on that.
well, I saw that they're
Cabela's did it too.
they're still selling all of the stuff.
Mhm.
They're just not going to be advertising it
I think
anymore.
that's Fleet Farm.
And they
Fleet Farm's
changed.
going the same way.
Yeah,
but
I thought
Dick's,
that Dick's
did
was
it
like,
first.
we're not selling it
They
anymore.
moved it to 21 plus, which
Yeah.
call me crazy, doesn't seem unreasonable.
right. It's almost like you'd prefer that as far as liability goes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Everybody always goes back to the military argument, and my counter argument on that is, well, maybe we should stop sending 18-year-olds over there.
Well, we couldn't. They're not desperate anymore when they're 21.
I think it's not right after 9/11 anymore. Like they pick and choose. You know?
Right.
They turn
Right.
they turn people down at the recruitment office
I get
nowadays.
turned down every week. I'm like, I'm ready, guys. Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket? Only I won't shoot anybody in the head in the bathroom.
You do kind of look like a young fucking
You
private
do.
offering.
Private
Now
pile.
that you bring it up,
If only I had any talent at all that was even close to what he
You
has.
don't though. You don't.
I know.
this is my weapon. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
So untalented.
No more fingering
We're working
Mary
on
Jane
it.
Rotten Crotch and her
We're
pretty
working
pink
on it.
panties.
You could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
I love that movie.
Oh, absolutely. We should just play that now.
Too boku.
Play us out. Full Metal Jacket.
No, boom, boom, soul
first
brother.
act.
No, boom, boom, soul brother. Do buko.
that movie.
He's like, listen, baby, this is a fine specimen of Alabama black snake, but it's not no goddamn tuco woo.
You know what was great about that movie was that it was
Tuboku means too
there was
big.
two really great movies. You know, it was like a boot camp movie and then it was a war movie after. Like it was,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a division.
It was very much like two movies with a first, second, and third act, then a first, second, and third act.
Mm-hmm.
Except for maybe the second half lacked the first act. You're just kind of right in the fucking middle of it
Right.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Well, he went to be like a reporter, right?
Yeah, he was
Who's
a writer.
Joker.
I don't even remember the last half of the movie, except for the scene with the
It's-
prostitutes.
And
Then the part where they're singing Mickey Mouse on the way out.
the
Yeah.
war
that's-
stuff. The
that
war
is a-
stuff
that's
isn't
a-
really memorable. It's him in boot camp is the most memorable
Mm.
stuff about that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's what people like really kind of talk or gravitate towards.
I love the
is Kubrick.
the Born to Kill. I told you that. Born to Kill helmet with the peace sign too, and he asked him. He was like, what the fuck is up with this? Private Joker. He's like, I don't know. I guess it's a narrative on the duality of man or something like that. And then I don't know if we did it on purpose, but at B-52, one of our most prominently displayed symbols is a peace sign, where we use a B-52 bomber as the
Right.
as the
Yep.
three pronged thing,
Yep.
and it's
It's on
kind
the
of
back
the
wall
same
over
thing,
there.
but dare I say, done a little better. Like Born to Kill is
that's
pretty
good.
fucking badass, but I don't know, ours is a little more elegant. I always thought.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. So like you said, that wasn't planned. That it would be similar.
I was not in on that meeting.
The design.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's cool though.
Yeah.
It is cool.
If
I like it.
If I may.
You should make
I'm
necklaces.
gonna try not to break my wrist jerking myself
It was a
off here,
Jack-
but I like it. I'm proud of it.
Was it Jack Casey's idea when he was writing it down
Exactly.
on a
Yes.
little piece of
Yeah.
paper?
Yep.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
a napkin?
On a
God
napkin.
damn it. Can we start over?
No.
We don't have anything to talk about anyway.
we
Cut.
Can I get a new name?
Jack Casey and Mike McMahon.
Oh, what did you write down for today's show?
Nothing.
One of them is real. One of them is made up.
What did you write down for this show?
I don't write anything down.
How's that fourth camera working? Now I'm just gonna start poking you like a bear.
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're
Did
good.
you try turning the volume up?
Well, this is
Was that not the conclusion of that?
That was
story?
I reckon you gotta put some gasoline in it
I'm
if
not-
you wanted to start.
I'm out of my fucking league when it comes to all the electronics I see in front of me
I
right
feel
here.
like
But that's one thing I know is to
left
check
right
to,
thing is
check
better now.
check
too.
to see if it's plugged
It's
in and check
because-
to see if the volume's on.
That channel has like when you get lower on the volume, it cuts out the one
Yeah.
side. So there's
Can you
something
hear
goofy.
yourself in both ears now, Jack?
I do.
Casey?
Yeah.
How about now?
No, yeah, both ears are working.
That's good. That's good. It's good to know. We are a well-oiled machine here.
Okay?
God, I'd like to get you well oiled.
I have a real question, and I don't know. So it sounds like maybe you don't follow movies and stuff since you're not going to see them in the theater, or do you just watch them at home?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Jack's got 3 small children.
I have 3 small
I have
children.
2.
I literally have no time to myself.
I hear you. I have 2.
Which I wanted to talk
We're
to you
doing
about,
this
Jack. I'm really
together.
happy that you found some Sunday availability.
Yeah.
It's about the only day of the week.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and what little time I do have available to myself, I usually just pour vodka all over my naked body until I
That's
pass
awesome.
out.
That's awesome.
A vodka slip and slide.
There's fucking chicken stuck in your hair like fat bastard, and you're just pouring like. Get my vodka.
I once ate a baby.
No, I didn't buy 2.
You can keep the briefcase if I can have it.
Liquor stores are open on Sunday. Cling, 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 cling.
How old are your kids now, Jack?
8, 6, and 4.
We should have one. That was horrible.
You got a few more years of
No, that's it.
watching, and then
Oh yeah, we're
You'll-
getting there.
you'll-
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
How are you sure you're not going to have another baby this month
Well,
or this year?
you kind of have to have sex to make that happen.
Don't. We know you're having sex.
Well, with Lance, yeah.
Jack Casey always has
Butt
sex.
babies.
Right.
Turd baby.
When and where he wants to.
There's a lot of cum coming out with this turd.
Here we go.
That was Adam that did all of that.
Yep.
Oh, there's no soundboard. It's available on the internet. It's, whenever we try one, we hit a soundboard, it goes clunk first every time.
Yeah, because it's like a loading sound, like or just like a
Yeah.
And because this computer I got just for the browsing is kind of weak.
It's not
so-
married perfectly to the board, but that's all right.
Right.
Fuck it. You don't need that fucking gimmicky shit.
Mhm.
Motherfuckers.
Have you guys ever done a podcast before?
Never in
No?
my life. Nope, never been on YouTube, never done a podcast.
First time for everything, huh?
This is my
Popping your cherry.
first.
We're not- yeah, we're gonna keep it.
first conversation, actually.
Ever.
That's why we like doing it. It's like talking to people again, you know.
Yeah.
So it was great. Like when we had Brandon on, that was a good time too. He was fun. He had a lot of good stories about drugs. So
He does,
Did we decide?
Talking about the bar business is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, for a whole life, life of bar, experiences.
He could have been there.
He
should have been there at Buffalo Wild Wings for that girl to help with her experience last night. So
Buffalo Wild Wings Egan?
Yeah.
I didn't know you meant it was at Buffalo Wild.
Yeah, he just said Egan before.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that Buffalo
Is
Wild
that where
Wings?
you guys went after B-52?
I didn't go at B-52s at all yesterday. Well, last
Oh,
night.
I thought you did.
Nothing bad.
You were
has
just
ever
at
happened there.
you were just at Buffalo Wild
I'm
Wings.
going back
He
to
was
that.
at B-52s physically.
for like not even an hour.
Okay. And then you went to B-Dubs.
No, I went to B-Dubs and was there from literally for 6 hours, almost
Okay,
6
got
hours
it.
last night.
That was the first stop.
Then the fight got done at midnight, and I hopped in an Uber. And
Would you
went-
fight?
Fight.
That's really loud.
I know.
I'm sorry. I won't.
We're good.
I won't yell.
That's
again.
fine. It's very entertaining.
That hurt my
Don't
ears.
stop.
I was like, what? No, I was watching the UFC fights
Such a
last night.
bitch in the morning.
You guys didn't get it last night, did you?
No.
No, we did not.
Okay, so is it true?
Kind of a weird card last night.
Is
That
it
was
true what
kinda
they
good.
say? Like that you have to pay. It's never the same price.
It varies. It's always negotiable, which is nice. But
But I mean, how do they charge you? It's like some weird.
we've
Thing they have?
we've got a very
I know you can't say the
Bu-
specifics, but is
Bush
it like,
League way of deciding if we're gonna carry the fight or not. The first test
it's
is:
awesome.
do I recognize any of the people?
That's good.
If one of the names is recognizable enough for a Joe Schmo like me,
Regular guy.
to
Yeah.
recognize, like, if there's McGregor, yeah, fuck yeah, in the bag, we got it.
Okay.
Something like that, like somebody who is recognizable to me.
He's in a lot of trouble this week.
I heard about that. Yeah,
We'll talk about that when you're done.
Let's. And then after that is pretty much just surrounding interest. Anything else going on that Saturday? Because a lot of times, we had St. Patrick's Day on a Saturday this year.
Then you don't even
you don't need
you
it.
just
Yeah,
get fights in the bar.
You've got a built exactly in the parking lot. Yeah, you've got a built-in reason for people to come. Otherwise, you don't need to
Were
lure
you
them
guys
in
busy
something
on
like that.
St. Patty's Day?
We did okay. We do a lot of people early on before they go downtown,
Oh yeah.
and
well,
then
that's for sure the best way
and
to
then
get them.
generally
Right.
generally bet cleanup at the end of the night too. Where
Right.
you're 75% of the people through the door are unservable anyway,
Right.
and we didn't get, we didn't get a lot. We didn't,
piles. Piles of wrack.
we didn't get a lot of that this year. It was really,
And-
really nice.
And
Yeah.
for once this year, Mike McMahon wasn't one of those people.
Hey.
I've only seen you stumble in there a couple of times. It's not so bad.
In there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember the one time you were taking your clothes off on top of the bar and screaming "Coyote Ugly," but you didn't know the lyrics?
Mhm.
Okay.
I do-
That never
I
happened.
do remember that.
True story, and I don't care if he really doesn't want me to share this. Mike McMahon, little bit of information,
Okay.
has public urination tickets in 2 different states.
That is awesome.
I like to pee.
Which states?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Minnesota, believe it or not, and then Wisconsin.
Where were you and where were you at in Wisconsin when this
I
happened?
bet it was Madison.
Wisconsin was, I believe the place was called the Pickle in Eau Claire.
Of course.
Perfect.
There was a pickle out too.
It's a fun little bar, especially if you're 18.
Is that what it was?
I was I was probably 23, 24, something like that, and just a day full of drinking, and went out to the cigarette patio. The line was out the door. It was their homecoming or pickle days or some shit where it was absurd. Like, you finish your drink so you could pee in your own glass. Like, there was no bathroom access to in this shithole. So I'm out there pissing off the side of the thing, and the whole time I was doing it, there was already a cop there. So
He's just like, what about this guy? Huh.
He watched me size up my spot and just start doing it, and once I started, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna write you up now."
Did he let you finish?
And I pinched it, and he asked, "Do you want to finish?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd prefer to finish."
It was kind of him.
So no, absolutely. And then Wisconsin is nice because I just got the money together and paid it before I even went home.
How much was it at that time?
It was a lot. It was like $330, something like
$330?
Holy
Yeah, it was a fair amount.
That is fucking crazy.
It was-
Fuck those
You should have been
guys.
fucking a goat.
well,
No, they don't fine you for that.
yeah,
Not in Wisconsin, no.
That's crazy.
No,
That's a lot of money.
It was more than
I was thinking maybe like $120.
It was more than I expected. Back then I was, still living with the folks and stuff like that. So money had less value.
Right.
It felt, but
you were about 23 years old at that time.
yeah, something like that. And then my girlfriend, now wife, was going to school there. So
Which town?
Got
Claire.
in trouble
Eau Claire?
got in trouble a couple times in Eau Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well-
seems like the whole lower rim of that state is party colleges.
Well, see, it's $330 well spent because now you get to talk about it.
Yeah,
On
we
this
just,
show.
we just
The
filled up
flummery.
over an hour on this podcast.
The casery. You can call it that from now on because I'm an idiot. Well, okay, so tell us about the second one.
Now that we're on it.
I mean, you didn't think I wasn't gonna.
Was this after this incident, or was the Minnesota one first?
No. The St. Cloud one, as it were, was
it the
was
rocks?
far earlier. No, it was on campus. And
Oh, it was earlier. Okay.
Yep. It was just a delayed bus ride. I had a buddy that lived across the river. Would oftentimes take the bus there, the bus home. I didn't have cab fare. This was earlier before I had a job and stuff. So I took the bus home. I forget why, but maybe I was on the wrong bus or some shit. And the second I stepped off, which was at the library bus stop. It was a Sunday night, so a lot of people studying. There was a lot of people looking out the library window, and one of them either called it in or there was a cop there. I don't know. I don't recall, but
Is that where you went to school?
I did go to St. Cloud for about 2.5 years, and then wrap things up at Metropolitan State.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Fine establishment.
How much was that fine?
That one was far less. That was $150.
The only thing you really wrapped up
Minnesota's
was your
better.
penis after you got caught.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Took 2 garbage bags and 3 rolls of duct tape.
Jesus.
I'm like that guy who wears a hooded sweatshirt as pants just to carry his testicles in the hood.
Did you see that?
Look it
There's
up.
a big black dude
That
that
is
had
such a
that problem
thing.
with his balls.
Yes.
Remember that?
That's what he's
what he's referencing.
Yeah.
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 Pretty
I think he had a surgery to fix that though.
He looks like he lives
He
somewhere
would-
cold, and it's a blue and orange sweatshirt that he
That he
wears.
would
So
wrap
I
around his-
think he's from Denver. I think it's
Syracuse.
Could
They
be a
got-
Ga-
they
could
got-
be a
they got-
Gators fan.
They got a lot of balls in Syracuse.
Yeah. They did a whole TV series on him that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
The only alcohol related offense I ever did was I got a minor consumption, and I was like 2 weeks from my 21st birthday.
Yeah, I got a minor when I was 18 in high school.
Sucked. Well, I was in a band, and we played the show, and I was 20, and
Were you slapping the bass?
well, I wasn't slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass. But we did the show, and then we stayed at this hotel, and we brought a couple people back, and we filled the tub. I had a fake ID at the time, so I bought some Michelob Golden Draft Light,
Delicious.
which I think you have right there.
I do.
Which we appreciate you bringing your beer on the show. That's a good choice.
Oh, well, thank you.
So normally that's what I'm doing too. I'm gonna get a Coors Light in a couple minutes, but well,
Show them what
we
you
filled
got.
the
Mike.
bathtub with
Show them what you
ice.
got.
Hold it up. Yeah, there you go. There's a delay. Sweatka makes you sweat the next day.
It's actually Jack Casey's bottle, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack hooked it up, and
I came preprepared.
Lance
We
came.
filled-
Lance came through with the tracer.
We filled the bathtub up with some ice and threw a couple cases of beer in there, and then we were smoking some weed.
you
And
smoke weed.
Oh
So
wow!
our
we can
friend-
talk about what on this thing?
yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And then my friend, the guitarist, he went in and he rented the room, and he goes in the side door, right? And then we all went in the side door after he rented the room, and so he's just like, oh, single occupancy, yeah, 2 double beds is fine, blah blah blah. Well, the cops show up, right? And we're kind of partying, but we're not like crazy partying. We're just drinking beer and smoking.
Weed.
Yeah, weed, marijuana, cigarettes.
Reefer.
All right, so the cops are like, do, and everyone's look at me. I got this joint. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm sitting next to the window, and I just slide the window open and just throw it out the window. I'm like, oh, sweet.
Right in
Close
front
the
of the
window.
cop.
No,
What
he
was
was
that?
still outside.
Well, you got a side window?
No,
Is it
he was in the
hotel?
hallway.
Oh.
Like it wasn't like a motel.
Oh, I was
It wasn't
thinking,
a motor
see,
inn.
I'm thinking like
Motel 6.
Motel 6. Or,
It wasn't the Royal Ass Pound Inn in
Yeah.
Hudson, Wisconsin.
Yeah, otherwise you
It'd
would
be
have gone
funny
in
if it
through
was
the
a
back
motel
door
and you threw
and not the
it out
side
right
door.
in front of him. What was that?
Gotta go.
It's fucking right there.
Well, the fucking guys, they come in and they're like, oh, okay, well, I see the beer here. We're going to have to take all that because some of you are minors. And we're like, fuck. So they take the beer. And then they're like, and now the second part of the problem we're going to have is that we can smell the marijuana. So if somebody wants to get the marijuana out and give it to us, that would be good. Everybody's like, and I knew my buddy Andy had a bag. And oh, sorry, Andy. I didn't say his last name.
Everybody was like, Adam
And-
already threw it out the window.
I know. Well, the good thing was, I was like, I smoked it, and they're like, "What?" I go, "I smoked it all," and they're like, "Well, where's the residue?" I'm like, "I don't. I threw it away. I smoked it all," and they're like,
I ate the ashes.
they were just like,
You really said that to the, you smoked
Yeah.
it all to the cops?
"Yeah, absolutely. I can. It's corroboratable." So, they're like, "Listen, just tell us the truth, and we'll head out." I'm like, "I did. I smoked it all. It's all gone. There's none left." Did you use a pipe? I'm like, "No, it was a joint." I'm like, I inhaled it or whatever. It was fucking. I spit it out in the garbage. Here's some right here. Oh, okay. And they're like, "Well, fuck it. We're out of here." They just let us out.
Thought you got a minor.
Yeah, he gave me the minor consumption for alcohol, but I don't think they have that ticket for.
When I got mine, they brought me down to
marijuana.
They brought me down to the station.
Damn.
Oh, really?
That's
Mhm.
stupid. Some assholes.
They're just being dumb.
Well, we had a place to stay that was legal, I think. So,
They let us go. They're like, "You got a ride?" And I'm like, "No."
My
and I didn't even get laid that night, which was total bullshit for that. Pulling that one off. Whatever.
Carl didn't want to put out.
No, there was some chicks there.
my first minor was it had to be a house party of
Hey, Carl!
My first minor.
I like that's always a good start.
at a house party. There was probably 30 of us, something like that, and I had recently undergone a pretty serious surgery, which could be a whole another podcast if you ever want to talk about that.
Chaz style?
Brain,
Oh, not
yeah.
Chaz Bonus, so I
Yeah.
shouldn't
You had,
make fun of you.
you had the brain surgery?
the old brain surgery, yeah. But I'm going to tell a more interesting story
Okay.
now about my minor.
Okay. Can we get to the brain one, though, after the minor?
So everybody bolts out the back door, and I'm incapable of running. So I go into the attached garage and hide underneath the mom's Durango. And
I love it. It's a Durango.
Durango. I love the
Every-
details.
I have the vision in my head. Right now.
Comanche Durango.
everybody gets fucking lassoed up and brought back in, sat down.
And you're
in
sitting
the
in the
living room.
gra-
I'm out there. It's 2 hours later, and I'm underneath this thing. They're that might be an exaggeration, but it's a good while later.
Right.
And they decide to do one last sweep, and I hear the door open, and
You hear Fido.
no,
Tear my leg
no,
off.
and he does a full lap, and then the door closes.
Like a horror movie.
I'm not looking, but he presumably goes back into the house. Door closes, pitch black. All of a sudden, boom! Sorry, I keep yelling into the microphone.
I like it.
Flashlight in the eyes. He's like, "You ever been maced?"
Is that what he said to you?
Yep. And I go, "Not today." and
Good one, smartass.
Right.
yeah. So
Did you get maced?
I mace was discharged and I was coughing afterwards, but it didn't get me. It was I had turned away, and I don't think he got me on the back of the head, but I do think he had it out and was ready, poised and ready. I was maced in Madison, Wisconsin one time. Pepper sprayed rather when
Were you on State Street when it happened?
yeah, when we couldn't clear the street. Couldn't clear the streets on Halloween.
No, I was there for Halloween too. One time.
Yeah, I
They
got
set a
it.
mattress on fire
I was
on
there
State
for
Street.
Halloween H2O starring Josh Hartnett.
I love Josh Hartnett.
Draws the crowds.
Sure does.
30 Days of Night. Just rewatched
the
that.
faculty, stop it. Stop
He was
it.
on the faculty?
He was Zeke in the
Was
faculty.
he in the faculty or on the faculty? He was a kid, right? Yeah.
Famke Jensen sure wanted to bang him
Yep.
in it.
No, it's all starting to come back to me. No, I'm.
When were you out in
Not one of my favorites.
Madison for Halloween?
I was 20 years old. Nope, 19. Beginning of sophomore year.
Yeah, you don't have to be 21 in Wisconsin.
October.
No,
of sophomore
absolutely
year.
not.
Ever.
So yeah, I should have cleared the streets when they told me to. I actually slept in a car that night with a buddy of mine from Roseville. We met up and then couldn't get into either one of the places where we were staying because we wound up staying out all night. And then it was like 5 a.m. My buddies wouldn't buzz me up to the apartment that I was staying
Oh,
in.
they were out.
And then
yeah.
and then he completely fucking forgot where he was staying. So
I don't know.
we just started trying car doors and we wound up crashing inside a vehicle.
Are you serious? Just random
Good
car.
choice.
Random car.
Random car.
Mm-hmm.
You've never done that? I've done it.
I slept in my car in River Falls before when I was going to school there.
I had slept in one in Cannon Falls. My buddy.
Find any meth in it?
Well, we had just gotten in a big street fight with a bunch of townies there. They're all fucking wasted. And so we were walking back to my buddy's house or his parents' place that we were like camping in this clearing up in the woods. And then we were like, it's too far. Somebody's car.
Forget it.
We walked down here and don't want to walk all the way back.
I have a Mace story along with a odd sleeping story at the same time. I was working for
Not that Mace.
Rock 100.3. And this was circa 1998, 99 when we did the free Smashing Pumpkins show in downtown Minneapolis on Block E, which ended up drawing 4 times the crowd than they were anticipating.
That
awesome.
story is badass as a motherfucker, and I think you should tell it from the beginning. Do we have time?
Which one?
No, just,
There was a lot of stories involved in
yeah, I
it.
suppose.
But
How dude like tried to steal it and everything.
yeah,
You
what it
should
was
definitely
is,
start that story from the beginning.
well, Rock 100.3 was in obviously constant competition with 93.7. At the time,
Wish they would
100.3 was Bob 100 FM, the country
I
station.
remember that.
And then
I remember
93.7 was The Edge, the alternative radio station. And they were the second highest grossing alternative radio station in the country behind 107.7 The End in Seattle.
Wow.
Well, word kind of got out within the industry that Bob was going to be switching over to a rock station like 93X used to be, like the old 93X. So what?
Wish it was still around. Type
Right.
of deal.
So what ABC Disney, who owns 93.7, what they did is they went and they bought Rev 105, which was a mom and pop alternative radio station owned by a husband and wife. And so they bought that and transferred or turned that into their alternative station and then switched 93.7 back to the X in order to compete with Rock 100.3. Because they knew if this old rock station came out, they were going to lose a large portion of their audience. But they basically abandoned a number 2 radio station in the country.
The Edge was on fire when it was going.
Oh, it was amazing. So
Edge Fest was huge. I went to every Edge.
I was at every one of them.
Me too.
Yep. So we get the Smashing at Rock 100.3. It was like a constant battle on the street, which was just ridiculous. And it was all just for listenership. And so it was like we started a
Street fight.
20 song, $20,000 music marathon. You know, we played 20 straight songs with no commercials. And if we didn't, and you caught it and called in, you won 20 grand. So we did that. And then 3 weeks later, 93X had the 25 song, $25,000 music marathon. So we get the Smashing Pumpkins in town. We're doing the free show on Block E, and we had set up our VIP
Did you get
section.
to meet Billy Corgan?
I did. I got to meet them all. Yep. And
James,
and Cracker opened for him.
Yeah.
And so our VIP section was on the roof of the parking ramp at the city center, right across the street, right on Hennepin Avenue. So 93X had basically tried to take credit for this show. So they had their people set up like on the perimeter
Are you
outside.
serious?
Oh yeah, passing out bumper stickers, and they had
I didn't realize that was there that much fucking like.
they rented a plane, pulling a banner, and flew it over that said 90 or 93.7 or 93X would like to welcome the Smashing Pumpkins.
It wasn't even their fucking deal.
No, it wasn't. But my program director got word of this, so he rents a plane with a banner that flies over that says 93X would like to thank Rock 100.3 for having the Smashing Pumpkins. So that was supposed to be this brilliant thing. Well, the banner ended up ripping on takeoff, so that banner never came out.
Oh no!
And so then they also had their 105 guys down there too. So they had kind of set up shop in Glicks in one of the rooms up above the bar. They had this giant projector that they rented, and they projected the Rev 105 logo onto the Target Center, which was right in behind the stage, so everyone could see it.
Yeah, it's got the big flat front. And
So
shit.
then
What a bunch of fuckers.
So then we ended up getting our hands on an industrial spotlight and found the window where they were projecting from and just shine the spotlight right into the window to get rid of it.
Isn't this cool? I love this
And
story. Just guerrilla
insane.
warfare.
It is. It was crazy. And it was at
Radio
every
warfare.
concert. There was always this competition, this confrontation. It was insane. And one of the guys I worked with was originally from Dallas.
That is
And Dallas had like 4 rock stations. And he goes, what we're doing here is stupid. He goes, in Dallas, there are 4 rock stations and everybody gets along. Like, it's not this big rivalry, this big competition for listenership.
No, because like
maybe they don't understand
it's good
that
to have
Minnesota
competition
we're
like that. Because if you want to hear Metallica and fucking Megadeth playing on the other one, you just switch back and forth. People are gonna fucking listen anyways if you still got it rolling.
It's
you know?
radio. You're gonna click.
Right.
It's so. I never get that.
So towards the end of the
That's
evening,
great,
the show was pretty much, I mean, was in full swing.
How does he just come up with the industrial spotlight? Same night, right? Like
He says,
I
he
got
was
a guy. Hold on.
Well, it
Oh,
sounds like he
It's not a
rented
cell phone.
You know who it
Rented-
was? You
rented
know who they
a
got
van
to do
also.
it? Jack Casey.
Fucking.
Hey, let's get Jack Casey on the game.
Hopefully later when you're watching this, Lance, you can fuck right the fuck off. Keep bringing that up.
I will till the very end.
I know.
You brought it up last.
Do we have sound? Is the sound?
Go ahead.
Can you hear it in both your ears?
Yes.
So we end up getting, there was well over 100,000 people that came to the show, all packed in one square city block in downtown Minneapolis.
It's almost like a Prince funeral or something.
The sound system was facing east into the city center,
Yep.
and it was so loud they could hear it on Lake Minnetonka. It was insane. It was awesome. So I recruited a bunch of my buddies and friends of mine to just work as like interns, like promotions interns, passing out bumper stickers and doing all that stuff. And because Rev 105 and 93 were there, we sent them like a whole crew of us. There's like probably 25 of us. We all went over right in front of Glicks where they were set up
Right.
with backpacks full of bumper stickers and just stickered everything, like passing stickers out to everyone who walked by, just slapping stickers on people. And the crowd had gotten so big it wasn't really manageable anymore. So we get back to the city center to try to get back up to the VIP area, and the police had locked the doors and wouldn't let us in. And it's me and all my friends, and they're all wearing 100.3 shirts and garbs and like staff shirts, and I had a VIP pass. Well, in the melee to try to get to the door, the pass was ripped off, so all I just had was the cord hanging around my neck. And people were trying to get into the city center to get out of the crowd. So the cops opened the door and they just pepper sprayed the entire crowd. So I ended up getting a full blast right in the face.
You were right in front of it.
Thankfully, I didn't get a direct.
Can you repeat what happened?
Full blast right in my face.
So that's pretty cool. That's a really good fucking story.
We eventually get upstairs and we all proceed to get just annihilated. And we left, and my buddy Matt and another friend of ours that worked with us got left. Our buddy Paul was supposed to give them a ride, and Paul got wasted and left with somebody else. So then Dre and Matt get left in downtown Minneapolis. And they couldn't get into the station because everything was closed. So it's like 3 a.m. by the time we wrapped up.
Right.
So these two guys ended up sleeping on the sidewalk in front of the
bums.
Yeah, exactly, in front of the station, which was right on 6th and Nicollet, right in downtown Minneapolis. Right next, we were in the Dane Rauscher building, like right above Morton's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
And these guys were sleeping on the sidewalk. Like they wake up in the morning to people walking to work past them. And they're just like these two hobos sleeping on the sidewalk
With their
cuddled up
100
together.
badges.
Whatever happened to Rev 105? What was the deal with that again?
I'm not really sure. You mean the original station?
Well, the one you work for Rev 105, right?
No, I work for Rock 100.3.
Rock 100.3. Rev 105. Yeah, what happened to
This is a tune. I'll allow it.
so what happened with your job there?
I'll allow it, man.
Actually, when I worked there, I started there as an intern while I was in college, and then I was a promotions assistant, and I was a part-time producer, and I was a part-time on-air talent. That's actually what I went to school for. That's what I wanted to do,
Right.
was to be in radio. Yep. So I walk into work one day. What's that?
You're right at home here, Jack.
Yeah,
Casey.
absolutely. It's not my first rodeo.
I know what it was. You told me that was your radio name. Go with it. Hey, this is Jack Casey.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I went in. No, that's fine. I went into work one day.
The wheels of steel.
Spinning hot stacks of wax. So I went into work one day, and the program director called me into his office, and he just said, "Jack, we're switching formats tomorrow.
Gulp.
And your personality doesn't match the new demographic." That was basically it. Had a job one day, out of a job the next.
And you were like, "What? What do you want? You want me to take off my shirt? I'll take off my shirt."
Right.
Were you crushed?
Yeah.
course.
It pissed me off. And I had friends that I went to school with that worked at 93X. So I ended up actually getting a job offer from them. But that left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I got out of college, and most kids were in the middle of Iowa reading crop reports for $12,000 a year. And I was working for a major market radio station. Now, granted, it's a smaller major market, but it's still major market radio.
Did you think at this time maybe it would be smart to change your personality?
Jack Casey.
Right. Yeah, it's when I changed my name.
I wish I'd have thought of that.
Right. That was pretty good. No, so I was kind of done with radio.
You were?
Yeah, that'll fuck.
I mean,
that'll
don't get
piss
me
you
wrong. I had the most fun for that 2.5 years of my life. It was amazing. But the whole concept of being out of a job at any given moment really did not appeal to me.
Well, and apparently that, that's the thing with radio is you have to be able to just deal with that.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to Colorado for my new job because I just got fired from this one for no good fucking reason because the program director's a prick.
Right. And I worked with guys who'd literally been all over the country. North Carolina, here, Chicago, LA, Arizona, Nebraska, literally everywhere. Just on a whim, you work a gig for a couple of years and then pick up your family, move across the country.
Yeah, that sounds right. What happened to Weasel? He's not on the...
You know what's funny? I lived with a couple of guys that worked at 93X, and one of the guys did the overnights at KQ for years. His name was Jason. Called him Mongo. And he worked at the morning show. He was on the morning show too.
Dr. Mongo.
And it was Dr. Mongo, was
He
it?
just kind of outgrow... Did he outgrow his contract or something?
He couldn't keep food from falling out of the side of his face. On air. No,
Are we laughing at a stroke victim?
Mongo. He's a mongoloid. So sorry. No, he ended up having to, they wouldn't give him a raise. So he's like, fucking, I can't do this anymore. But he kept that overnight job for a while. But another friend of mine was the afternoon guy on 93X. And he was Ditter on the radio. Andy Ditter. It's not that good of a name, buddy. But anyway, he did a really good job.
Did he?
And he just got in some stupid little argument.
And he did.
And then the guy was like, "Oh, I'm not going to put up with this. You're fired." It's like, whoa, fuck.
Yep.
And he was actually a pretty good afternoon guy, but the guy I was talking about before, Mongo, Jason is his name.
Mongo.
They called him that on the morning show. They called him Mongo. And he was the guy they had on the morning show, and they waxed his whole body.
Was he really
a lot
hairy?
of hair, yeah. And then he met, that week, he met this girlfriend he had for 6 years. I'm like, now you look like a real human and you can meet cute chicks.
You don't look like an ape anymore.
Right. It was true. But they had metrosexual his beard up like yours is and everything. And
Do I look like guys?
you look good. So, but he worked with Weasel, and it was just a shock to everybody that nobody knows. It was just like, well, we're moving forward with the show. Probably they just didn't want to do his contract again,
Yeah, I
like
think
Weasel's contract.
I think this just was kind of a thing. Time to move on without him.
But I don't
Right.
understand. I mean, it was a better show, I thought, with him, even though he didn't do as much talking as the other guys.
No.
Josh bought me beer when I was like 17 one time.
Really?
That's
Yep.
cool.
Back when his name was Tijuana Josh.
Was it Tijuana Josh?
Yeah.
want some ice?
Weasel Josh and Nick. Nah, I'm good on ice. Yeah, it was
Josh and Nick.
Weasel Josh and Nick. Yeah, Tijuana Josh. He was dating my sister-in-law's older sister.
Really?
If you can follow that, yeah.
Mm.
And
How long ago was that?
goddamn, well,
I'm seeing that.
I when I say I was 17, I might be shooting high. Like it was a while ago. It was roughly thanks, man. It was roughly 2002, right around the time Jack was watching Passion of the Christ for the
Right.
last time in a theater ever.
That's crazy that you haven't seen a movie since then.
No, and I'll tell you, my justification for that is just because I'm a cheap ass,
I hear ya.
and when movie tickets went up to
Drink all my beer lands.
$8 a piece or whatever it was, I'm like, that's insane.
There's something in there to drink,
No, there
right?
isn't.
There's not a Angry Orchard or anything
No.
in there?
Have a Michelob Light right there.
Okay, I will.
Oh.
I know it's a step up from your Coors, but
The second time I got a minor.
Rice beer.
I'll replace your stock, Adam.
It's fine.
Like I said, I'll replace your stock.
It's fine. Yeah, I think we had some
you sound like my wife.
sneaky
I thought
socks
I-
or something.
It's a fun little transition for the listener.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Great segue.
The second time I got a minor,
I want to hear Brain's story, and I want to hear it now.
I want to hear more about Conor McGregor. We were going to call back to that too.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. No,
So do you guys follow mixed martial arts at all?
no.
I know a little bit about it.
I do.
Like they punch and stuff.
So you guys are familiar with Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Justin Bieber.
He's the one that's like
They're
25,
brothers.
25 and 0, right?
The Khabibs.
No, he's 26-0 now.
Oh, did he win?
He's a champ now.
Must have won.
So, anyways, I don't know if you guys know Artem Lobov is. He's like a low-ranked
Give
fighter.
it away.
He's on Team McGregor, right? So there's camps and they train together. So Lobov is a Russian that became like a citizen of Ireland and lives in Ireland now because he's training with that camp. So he's like with McGregor. So Lobov was on one of the prelim cards for this fight, and him and Khabib were walking by each other.
Is this Khabib?
That's Khabib.
Okay. What's the other guy's name?
Artem Lobov.
Khabib.
How do you spell that?
Artem Lobov.
Okay, go on with your story.
And apparently the Lobov was talking trash about Khabib, and Khabib's not the guy that talks trash, and he found him in the hallway, and there's a audio and video of Khabib's a scary dude. Khabib put his arm around him. He's like, if you're gonna talk shit, here's my face. Do it to me right now. So I think Lobov got scared because Khabib have a bigger party around him. Anyways, nothing happened. People shit talk, whatever.
Sure.
So this gets back to McGregor. McGregor gets in his jet with like 20 of his thugs. Comes over to Brooklyn. All the fighters load into a bus to leave the stadium because they were doing a press day or something that day. This is Thursday. And the Mac Life, which is they're like a press and like they do press and like talk about whatever. They're just like press. They get press access. They're in there and they end up letting him.
They're members of the press.
Yeah, they're members, and they get the access to video and talk to fighters. Well, they weren't supposed to let McGregor and his crew in, but they let him in the door where they're loading into the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And they came running after the bus, and McGregor took a dolly, a dolly,
Sure.
and threw it into the window.
He picked up the whole fucking dolly, huh?
Threw it in
Was
the
it like a
window,
little
broke.
two-wheel dolly or a pallet jack?
Like a tall dolly that you can lift a couple 100 pounds with.
See, I would argue that. Sorry, is that the extent of it?
No, well, so you ended up breaking the window, and then you
That
ended
it?
up taking those gates, like the crowd gates, like
Sure,
metal
yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
ended up throwing that at the bus too.
Sure.
He broke a window, and one of the fighters had to pull out Michael Kisei because the glass got in all his face and he's bloodied up. Mike has nothing to do with the beef.
Sure.
So he's
Makes
putting
sense.
other people in danger.
Yeah.
Kisa's gonna sue his ass and get a good fucking chunk of change, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they all will because
And he's got other civil lawsuits against him because other people on the bus got hurt.
I just-
another guy got glass in his eye.
I just feel like he'll make it back. He will. He'll be just fine. What you can't do nowadays, and
It was a really stupid move, though.
Oh, it was very much a stupid move. But we also are talking about him now.
Yep,
and
exactly.
He hasn't even fought this year, so he'll be fine.
He'll be back. He's gonna pay a
he'll be
lot of
absolutely
his,
fine.
lot of his ass. though.
He didn't fucking intern. He didn't send a dick pic. Like that. That is honestly where the taboo is nowadays. That's where you lose Twitter followers. What he did, he put somebody in danger. He will, ultimately lose money up front, but truthfully, he will gain Twitter followers because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as good a fighter as he is, he's a far better marketer of himself, of his brand, of his product. I mean, he's
Mouseketeer is the word you're searching for. Ryan Gosling was one at one point.
There's no way that got glass in somebody's face.
It did.
It's a tiny little.
That's not what he. That's
So
not the one.
stop it. Stop it. So is Justin Timberlake.
I knew that.
Little known.
I didn't know Ryan Gosling was. Though.
And Britney Spears.
Now I have a different
And Christina
opinion about
Aguilera.
him, now that I
she's
found
the
out he was
best.
on fucking Disney shit.
Conor McGregor was the one too.
He was the Irish one.
I fucking dance for you.
I think he said "fuck" in it too.
right.
Fucking I, this is the Irish version.
Yeah.
The
So,
fucking Mickey Mouse show.
anyways, he got stripped of his title, and now Khabib's the champ,
Are you serious?
and I think those two will fight eventually.
Good. I hope they do it in a fucking parking garage.
Well, Khabib,
Right.
he was on camera. He's like, Connor, just give me a location. He's like, give me a location. I'll meet you. We don't need cameras.
Well, why does he need to meet him? Why the fuck doesn't he just let those two meet it out? That's what the problem with McGregor. He got in trouble for jumping in the ring at another place too, right?
He's being a buffoon.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, Lance.
He doesn't need to defend these guys.
Lance,
They're-
it does feel that you like Khabib a lot.
I do like Khabib.
Yeah, it sounds like you're telling the story with a
dude,
little bit of bias.
I actually dislike Connor a lot lot now.
Do you?
Russia has
Because of that.
infiltrated his.
I think he's just
Facebook.
being a thug.
Oh, well, they're all terrible people. Spoiler alert.
Terrible people. Why
They're
do they
horrible,
fight?
disgusting individuals. Yes.
No.
Khabib is actually pretty level-headed.
Isn't he Russian?
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Oh, so yeah,
He's
it's
from
terrible.
Dagestan. Or
Yeah, he's the guy
strike two, at
from
least.
Rocky 4 then, as far as I'm concerned.
Even Drago.
Yeah, Drago, that's right.
If he dies,
I will
he
break
dies.
you.
I was breakers.
He's not a man. He's carved out of wood.
Yeah, but he's not a douche. He's not a
Russia is
dick.
still my enemy, Lance. Where are you at?
Huh? Is this the Cold War?
Was the Bay of Pigs for nothing?
It's worse.
It's
It's the cold shoulder.
That's Cuba.
We're going to the moon first, guys.
Damn it, whoops.
We're going
Yeah,
to the
but they
moon
were
first.
communists at the time.
Sure. Rushkis.
Yeah.
So the second time I got a minor.
Fuck Russia. So the second time I had brain surgery and go.
So I was born with a predisposition.
Do you not want to tell the story?
No, I'll tell the story.
Okay.
It's called Chiari malformation type 1.
Jesus, how'd you say that 5 times fast?
Chiari malformation.
Chiari malformation. Look it up. It's actually the amount of approximated instances is between 2,000 and 200,000 in our country.
Ever?
No. But think about how large that range is. Those are very disconnected numbers.
Yeah.
It's because it so often goes undiagnosed. People live with it their whole lives. And so I had this predisposition. I knocked my head, and I can't pinpoint it because I got a number of concussions as a kid. And I played hockey, football, lacrosse, everything. I think I know, but it's not really.
Is it from hitting your head?
Yeah. Well, it essentially set off this predisposition where my cerebellum began growing again. And if you look at the cerebellum is essentially the ass of the brain. Like if you look at a full brain, no, you know what I mean. Like it's the part,
the butthole.
It's the closest part to the spine. It's two lobes that kind of hang down.
They're underneath and they're like this.
Look at the cerebellum on that bitch.
You don't do any real thinking with it. It's the first part that develops, so it's kind of the lizard brain part of your brain. where it reminds your heart to beat and shit like that. Like
That's important.
Yeah, it's very important, but it's you don't do any real conscious thinking with it.
Right.
It reminds you to breathe when you're asleep.
For like backdoor
Stuff like that.
activities.
Yeah, exactly. It's the
Know what I'm talking about?
it is the Lance likes the backdoor activities.
Wait,
How
what?
we got in here.
Oh, there's so much cum in my poop last night.
It's so warm in here right now.
I know, sorry.
So
Why is it so?
I can tell the story if you
Yeah,
want.
Go on.
we're listening. Adam derails once in a while. Go on.
That was okay.
So I was a tough kid, and I was also when it came to my own well-being, I was very quiet. And I would bitch about headaches a lot, and we would get it checked out. We would go in all the time. I would always get CAT scans, MRs of my head, stuff like that. And it wasn't showing up because it was always brain, because my complaint was always head related. It's like my fucking head hurts. Got to a point where I could only find you got to find a way to sleep. So I could lay flat on my back, and that pressure from whatever I was laying on, the bed, the ground, whatever, would push back on it, and I would find a small amount of relief. So
that felt good.
Yeah.
How long
It's
did this
better.
go on?
I mean,
good is a very relative
Right,
word, but
yeah. Better.
this the headache started midway through 9th grade. And so anyhow, a lot of my teachers, my cooler teachers especially, would allow me to lay on the ground underneath my desk, and I learned how to write a full 4, 5, 10 page paper without ever looking at the screen. Like I would write whole sentences, delete them, and rewrite them, and stuff like that, without ever seeing the screen. I was
Because you didn't want to lift your head.
I was laying underneath my desk with the keyboard on my chest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was wild. It was nuts. And then my hand started shutting off. Is what happened next.
Oh my god.
Where I would walk around parties with a butter knife in my back pocket, almost like a flat bar, for those bartenders out there. Where I would open I couldn't use my hand to open my cans anymore, so I would use
Stop breathing.
I would use a butter knife to open up my cans. I would.
So at least you could drink.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it helped.
Was you just
I'm
tape
sure
it?
it did.
It's like
I would throw. I'd throw.
240s.
I'd throw a cigarette in my mouth, and all my closest friends were just there. Like they knew Mike's got something going on. We're not fucking talking about it, but there's something going on. Weightlifting class. Everybody just lied for me. I couldn't even do the bar anymore. Like I couldn't squat.
it's crazy.
Couldn't squat the bar. Couldn't bench the bar. It was just nuts. So finally, and I never linked those two together. The headaches were just a part of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when the hand thing started happening, I was like, well, yeah, maybe I'm just dying.
Oh my god.
And
What did your folks say?
what?
Isn't it scary?
I really left them out of the loop, for the most part, and they feel bad about it still, which bums me out that they feel bad about it.
Right, because it's not like you were like, help me.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, but they feel like I was looking back, in that there was more they could have done, but what do you do? So finally they do a bunch of EKGs on my hand where they're stabbing me with an electric needle to see if there's muscle activity, or if the muscle activity in my hands, which is where I'm complaining about now, is in any way linked to my brain. And they see there's a direct correlation. So then they do a full body
You gotta talk into that.
Sorry, they do a full body MRI, and it took whatever, like 2 hours. I'm a tall drink of water.
If you guys don't know, Michael is 6'10".
They do a full look at my head, brain, back, everything, and they see this enormous fluid buildup that's developed.
And
Because
it's swollen,
what
right?
had happened is, my cerebellum started growing again and started poking out.
Did you get a huge sack?
What? A little bit. Yeah, a sack full of water.
Go ahead.
No, my cerebellum started poking out the bottom hole in my spine hole in my skull.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Ugh.
And started choking off my spine.
So that's where the problems neurologically started.
And what happened there? Your spine Okay, usually, picture like a karate chop to the side of your spine.
Like Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Like that would affect the outside of your spine.
I believe Bruce Lee was Kung Fu.
And that's why people oftentimes go paralyzed from the legs down. The inside of your spine controls your upper body, and this fluid buildup was taking place in the inner rung, like kind of like the way trees grow, or rings. You know what I mean? Like the inner ring controls your upper body. Fluid buildup's happening there, so my upper body was shutting off. Is what was happening. So they finally figured it out. They electrically cauterized my cerebellum. They removed my top 2 vertebrae.
Really?
Yeah.
So Mike should be taller than
And
you
I've
are.
been-
You
yeah,
should
exactly.
be taller than you are right now.
Yep. Right? Nuts, right? And they hooked me up with a bovine implant, they call it, which is essentially they chopped out like a window of my skull, and then replaced it with a piece of rawhide.
Rawhide.
Is that still a soft?
I still like
Is
you
that
walking
still a
around
soft
with
spot?
a fucking can opener.
Oh, it was a good look.
Oh, it's great,
It was
Lance.
a fun deal.
For the record, my full body MRI took 15 minutes.
I kept wiggling too.
How long did that surgery take, and what was the recovery like?
I had a diagonally positioned vein across the exact 2x2 little window in the back of my skull that they cut out, so they had to work around that, which added a couple hours, but it wound up being like 8 hours, something like that. Mm-hmm.
My MRI
And-
had to be
and-
delayed because I had to pay extra for it, like
Go ahead, Mike.
2XL shirts.
Yeah, those copays will get you too.
Yeah.
Copays is what.
Copays is what gets
Fuck you straight in the mouth.
So,
Oh, what's 20% of $100,000? No biggie.
what's
go
your
on.
what was
Sorry.
your what was your like therapy and your recovery like then?
Quite a bit. I'm like, as before stated, I'm 6'9", so I'm a tall drink of water. I got down to about 170 pounds at my lightest. So it was just a fucking Skeletor.
Yeah.
That's roughly what my skeleton weighs.
Right.
Like if they were digging you up, and brushing your bones off, and pulling them out of the earth
As
as a fossil.
long as you found them all, you're sitting with about 164 pounds.
Right.
But no, I had a buddy. I ran with a crew of 4 very close friends, close to the end of high school, and one of those 4 people, so one of those other 3 people, started. He felt a snap while he was lifting weights. This is the year after, and everybody was like, "No way! There's no fucking possible way that it's the same thing." But he said it. When he was getting his shit checked out, he's like, "Could you please check for this thing?" Because my buddy had it. It went undiagnosed for almost 4 years. By the way, that surgery happened after graduation from high school.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And
That'll
So
mess
you went
So-
through
so-
it your whole high school.
so just corroded all the way through high school. Yeah.
And how often were you getting the hand issue?
It was constant.
No, that happened. It was very much constant. I couldn't lock a door, light a lighter, anything. That started probably the summer before senior year. Wild, right?
How'd you jerk off?
What?
That's a good question.
There's couches for that. There's couch cushions for
Two of
that.
these.
A series of straps, pulleys, and
You take
screws.
2 of these.
Like he said, he had 4 very
Sim-
close
sim-
friends.
simple machines.
Sleeve of your favorite jacket.
Pocket pussy.
Is that a basketball reference, Jack?
It was a
No, that was a
pussy.
Big Daddy reference.
What was
Fuck the
it?
sleeve of his favorite
Oh,
jacket.
or is that
I
basketball?
like basketball.
That,
for
I think
it,
I
actually.
think you're right. You're right. That is a basketball reference. You're right. Coop.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up.
You know.
No, I'm not.
What are you talking
He's
about?
looking up something
Jesus.
It's
But yeah, all good now. In case anybody's curious.
So how
The
long,
jerking
how
off
long
part?
was
Yeah.
it before
Yeah.
you were able to walk and do
We know
things?
you're
and
all
Oh,
be like,
I could walk almost right away.
were you gonna like
but-
on a head brace? Like
where I was going with that?
but he
no,
looked like kind of like a baby giraffe.
my
you know?
my range. I still do. My range of motion was garbage. I still can't go as far to the right or left. When I'm at a 4-way stop, I got to turn my shoulders a little bit.
But you go front to back really well.
Front to back.
This is where you drop the encyclopedia.
Like
Frequently.
really well.
Jack Casey.
Frequently.
Hey, and
and-
your friend. Sorry to interrupt.
The
Again.
reason I brought him up was because he caught it fucking immediately.
So he did
He
have
did
it.
have it.
He did have it.
Did you
He
give
was
it to him?
diagnosed with it. No, it's not something. That is funny, but it's also a very. It's not a commonly known deal, so it's possible people would think it's contagious. It's not. He did have it, and they caught it right a fucking way, and he missed like 2 weeks of school, and I missed. I decomposed for like 4 years, but then recovery wise,
Decomposed.
like 8 or 9 months took me to get back to good.
So how long was it till you could jerk off again?
I love that that's Jackson.
Immediate.
Number one thing.
Jerkin Jack Casey here on K10775. 0.7 thousand FM.
I mean, it's a great story, but I mean, there's the meat and potatoes of a story. The listeners want to know, Mike. The listeners want to know.
Can't wait to get my lips around your meat and potatoes.
The twig and berries, if you will.
I had a series of
very hard orgasms where I was like just coming so hard.
I had a weird series in my life in my mid-20s where I had an equilibrium problem, and I would fall on the floor and like throw up,
like a
like a cat,
like what do you call it? Starts with a V.
A vagina.
Not that.
Yes. By the way, I am making light of your weird
vertigo.
Vertigo.
Yeah, I had
Thank you.
vertigo. I had vertigo.
You had vertigo?
It got really bad for about a year, and
Could you jerk off?
yeah, I could still jerk off, just not when I was sick. The last time,
Just not standing up
I was
anymore.
having
Sit
issues.
and
It got
spin.
really bad one day,
My mom may listen to this, but
and
We love you.
Hi, Debbie.
was
Sorry,
at
Mrs. McMahon.
my buddy Mark's mom's house, and he had to go to work, and I couldn't leave the house because I couldn't drive. Like I was literally sick. Laying
I would have
on
tried.
the couch. So I lay there for 3 hours. I got in my car and went back to my house, and I got into the kitchen and I fell on the floor and I threw up, and I'm like laying in my puke, and I'm like, my parents are in like Florida. I call my sister. I'm like, I am super fucked up right now. Like I need. So I went to the hospital. My family doctor is like, have them check your ears. Have them check your ears. Well, what do? They throw you in a CAT scan right away and all this stuff. I don't have insurance, so like I'm just screwed at this point.
Right.
You know what? I don't need them. D-Brox in the ears. That's all.
Oh wow! Like
$10 bottle D-Brox.
because like crystals have formed or
Something,
something.
yeah.
Well, what really startled me about that story.
I would clean my ears like everybody does, but somehow that shit just got in there and
Weird.
What really startled me about that story is when you told me about the family physician. You went and he was like, "Well,
I called her.
We're gonna have to check your anus again."
Yeah.
And
So I
kind of
backed
like,
over.
yeah, like
I
that
had
Michigan guy.
yeah.
It seems a little. I mean, were you trying to one up his?
Sandusky?
No, not at all.
Are you trying to one up his
not
two
at all.
missing vertebrae story?
I have nothing on it. I'm just talking about a
This
situation.
is why my
I
nickname
had.
is the Nemesis, by the way. I'm just totally fucking with you,
Yeah.
Lance.
Well,
Dude, how much was that fucking medical bill?
no, I worked a couple extra jobs for a few years to pay that off.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
He wasn't the president at the time.
Exactly.
I think it was George Bush.
George H.W. Bush
George Bushy.
clearing some brush bush.
Yeah, that was and I kept, what's weird about hospital bills? They're always separated, like
Botswana.
you did this visit, or like this is for the room or the bed, and you can't keep those fucking bills straight.
$4,200 for a bottle of saline solution.
In a very uncomfortable bed.
If you really start breaking them down, a lot of them are pretty rough.
$13 for a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
For real. That's
real.
fucked up. Like they can't give you Walmart pricing. Like they're not getting enough of it. We don't get enough in the facility here to
it's
justify
crazy.
a discount.
There's something wrong with that,
Well,
in my opinion,
do you know why
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Do you know why it happens?
because people don't pay their medical bills.
No, okay. Here's why it happens. The reason why hospitals charge these ridiculous prices
Because
for
they
these
can.
simple, basic things. No, just listen.
Jack's wife is a nurse.
My wife is a nurse, which obviously still doesn't make me an expert.
You are
Hey.
you are just terrible.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
The reason why is basically because the insurance companies have forced hospitals to do this in order for the hospitals to turn a profit. Because let's say someone who comes in has full medical coverage, has a procedure, let's say that costs $150,000 for the whole procedure. Well, that bill gets sent to the insurance company, and the insurance company says, all right, your bill's $150,000. We'll give you $60,000. And it's basically a bidding war back and
Are you
forth.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead serious.
That's true. Yep.
And that's why everything seems so expensive. So for the people that don't have health coverage, you bet your ass that they're going to expect every penny. But the people who have insurance don't understand what's going on. It's because the insurance company, obviously, their job is to maximize profit. So they're going to pay out as little as possible. So it becomes a negotiating game with these hospitals. So in order for the hospitals to
fucked
cover
up.
their costs and turn a profit, they have to inflate their prices because they know they're not going to get paid.
So it's both their faults, really.
Right, it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's a double-edged sword.
You
And-
could
It sounds
say
like a
they should just
stupid
have two
rabbit hole
pricing
they're going
groups.
down.
Oh,
one
yeah,
for
it
the
is.
insurance company and one for
Yeah,
the
it's something that needs to be-
uninsured. But
It's something that needs to be checked. I mean, well, I don't care
well, we
what
tried
your
America. It'll
opinion
be
is
another
on
50 years before we
on
revisit it.
public health care or whatever, but it's something that will just continue to get worse
Right.
unless
It
something
sounds
is
like
changed.
it's out of whack. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm
it is.
saying.
It's
out of whack.
It's gotten so out of whack just because it's privatized industry, and obviously insurance companies want to maximize profits. Hospitals want to maximize their profits.
I don't know
and they're
why a
just
hospital
playing-
would be for profit. This is what I don't understand. Or insurance companies for that matter. I mean, I guess I don't. Capitalism is good. Okay, I get it. I'm not like for just abolishing all of this, but there should be both. There should be more nonprofit than for profit. Like if the rich people want to pay more, let them. But otherwise, it should be like skin and bones here. You know, let's pay the doctors and nurses what they deserve, and then everything else we're gonna try and get it cheap.
Well,
We need new facilities.
Not necessarily. I mean, there's plenty of facilities right now, in my
No.
opinion. You have to maintain.
I'm not an expert in this, so
Yeah, you have to maintain.
well, I am not an expert either, but
I
Did
just
you-
I
so-
just think that's whacked.
well, and
That whole thing is whacked.
it is. It's completely ridiculous. I have an
Talking about
uncle.
People's well-being, and they're playing fucking bidding wars on shit. You know,
I have an uncle that should have been dead 7 years ago from cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer that had started in, I believe, in his liver and had eventually spread to his entire body.
So everywhere.
He was given 6 months to live. His family spent all of their time searching alternative treatments while he still continued to go through traditional chemo and radiation and all that stuff.
Right.
And his
they're
oncologist,
looking for other things.
right, and his oncologist told him specifically, if you seek treatment outside of my treatment plan, I won't treat you anymore. Well, what he had done is his family had found
That is very fucked up.
this medication online out of South America that had really good effects, and you couldn't just call the people up and ask for it. Like there
You
was
had to
this,
take a boat into the Congo to get it.
there was
right?
like it was like
That's in
you
Africa.
basically had to be
the Amazon, I think.
you had to
Yes,
be
I know, I was kidding.
referred.
It was a joke. I know where the Congo is. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You had to be referred to get to it. So you joined basically this forum group of cancer patients and their families, and then you had to be referred to this company. Well, they ended up getting this medication that he took every day. From it extremely expensive. Don't get me wrong. It not like it was cheap.
Neither were the diamonds in Congo. Everything out of that place seems to be
Botswana.
expensive.
Blood diamonds. Go ahead.
But he's
They're only
cancer free.
expenses after we.
Really?
He's
restrict
cancer free. He
their
was given
use.
6 months, and
How long-
he's
this is 7 years ago.
7 years ago. He was given 6 months to live. He's completely cancer free. He went through a scan after about a year and a half, and he was completely clean.
What was the
and
drug?
Did he tell that?
That's
I have
awesome.
no idea.
Did he tell ultimatum doctor to fuck himself or?
No, he continued with his
Really?
standard treatment
told
and
him to
just
fuck
did.
himself.
Well, he just didn't say anything
Sure,
because he's
sure.
like it's doing
like-
something.
He's
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
he's trying to
do
maximize
supplements.
his
Right,
odds.
exactly.
Like, but
Yeah.
not saying doing it, but not saying
Right.
anything.
So and he goes through, gets a scan. He's cancer free, and his oncologist is like, I have no explanation other than you're a walking miracle. And he walks out of the
Did he
office
say-
knowing, no, I kind of did this myself. Like you helped out, but
took hemp pills and ate.
right.
Should have said if
I
you,
bet you it was hemp pills and anal
if
bleaching.
you try to
Right.
see any.
What is it, like apricot
Other-
pits ground up? I heard is good too for cancer.
Yeah, and
Something like that.
pomegranate
Nectarine or
seeds.
something.
It's all in the stem cells coming up, boys.
If
It's
you
all in the stem cells.
he should have said to his doctor, he goes, if you decide to see any other patients, I'm gonna fucking quit you. One thing I really liked about what you said is when you used the
I
word
wish I could quit
traditional.
you.
That's how you're supposed to use the word traditional, not when you're referring to just regular chicken wings.
Yeah, he hates that. What do you want? Bone in or traditional or boneless?
Did I fucking say boneless wings? I said wings. Chicken fucking wings, okay? I didn't say
He gets
chicken
amped up.
cubes with fucking massive amounts of MSG breading on them, did I? I said chicken wings. Does the boneless one look like a wing to you? No. Does a chicken wing look like a wing to you? Yes. It's not traditional. It's just the real thing.
I can see the anger on your face right now.
I feel like you've probably devoted other episodes to this.
Right.
There's an episode called Wings and Blue Cheese.
I'm rubbing my tummy right now. He gets angry. It's like it takes him 4.5 seconds longer to take my order for the wings. Traditional? Did you want traditional blue cheese? Do you want traditional napkins? Fuck you.
It's okay. Joe Rogan repeats himself on his podcast too. So
Sometimes it's helpful.
Because of the weed.
Yeah.
oh, he sparks right up on camera.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would too if I lived in California and I didn't work at a chemical company.
My dog is, we're giving him hemp supplements.
This one?
Nope, not this one.
Does he shit her up?
What?
Sorry.
That's clever. A lot of products come from hemp.
Crash and burn, huh, Meyer?
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. Slider, you stink.
No.
What's that for then?
We have a dog that we oftentimes watch who little high strung, so they started giving him these hemp supplements and cooled him down. But as a side effect, he had these.
He sparks up some joint.
No, they're the hemp, true hemp is the name of the brand.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they've also helped with getting rid of these
Like arthritis or cysts?
Cysts, yeah, would be the word. Yeah, these
Growths?
little neoblastomas. I don't know what they
Michael
are.
Grothes?
Yeah, little growths that they're completely benign, but little gross. And a lot of dogs have them. A lot of older dogs have them. So yeah, started giving my dog
That's awesome.
those to reduce those, and it's helped with his mood too. He's dare I say,
Is he a pretty chill dog?
dare I say, he's chilled the fuck out.
Somebody knocks on the door. He's like, "Whoa,
dude, hide it." The first thing he says.
Is it
Gets
your dog or a
paranoid.
friend's dog? It's your dog?
The one who's seen massive success is a friend's, and then my dog is now been taking him for 2 weeks.
Oh, it's so new. It's newer.
Yeah, we haven't seen leaps and bounds yet,
Right.
but I think it's also a build up.
Yeah, I think that might take
probably."
him. That's
I think
cool.
so.
Is it expensive?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know
Is
how
he
much?
he working on his liberal arts degree yet?
You want to know how much?
No, I mean, can you spare some?
It's that, or he's gonna be like a herpetologist.
He's currently
He's
writing his thesis on
He's
women's studies.
for extended periods of time, he just sits there and looks at his own paw. Oh my god, hands are weird.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Second time I got a minor. You guys want to hear that story?
You got another one? You got another one?
Oh, we got fucked up at my buddy's place until this is in Little Canada. So
Then we can't
this
use
one-
the joke though. Like as we go on, you can't use the
Yeah, you
second
can.
time.
Oh, there were 3.
Oh, okay, good.
Jack Casey's here. You can do anything you want.
I'm Jack Casey. 24.
All right, go ahead.
Cricket.
Jack Bauer. That's just me getting the name wrong again. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Not everybody is like a professional like me, so it's fine. Go on.
So we got all fucked up. I got home. I worked a full length restaurant shift in St. Cloud, and
So
then
3.5 hours.
yes. No, I was.
I'll stop.
Is
Okay,
that-
I'll stop. Go
No,
ahead.
is that
No, I have
like
no
a
idea.
stereotype of restaurant chefs?
Right.
They're generally like 16.
Yeah,
in my fucking
the
experience.
doubles. Yeah.
We,
From open to close.
no, I get done at like 9 or 10 o'clock and drive down from St. Cloud to home, which was Roseville, Little Canada. Ran over to my buddy's place in Little Canada and just crushed beers. Just probably had like 30 beers or something like that, and
Crushed him.
Crushed
It was case day at his buddy's house.
not actually, but between 20
Case
and 30,
race.
north of 20, and yeah, I got there like 11.
Just at a buddy's apartment or house or
buddy's house.
Yeah.
And
Just wrecked in an hour.
just toast, and and then everybody wanted. I'm done drinking by 2 or 3 o'clock. Like I drank them very fast, and by 7 or 8 in the morning, everybody wanted to go get breakfast. So
Had you slept?
yeah, I slept. I
Oh.
slept the entire time, and I thought I was good. I was a young kid. I felt on top of the world. So we go to Embers. Remember Embers?
Mm-hmm.
Still completely wasted.
Embers America. Yeah, but
The
not,
tremendous 12.
but not really
You can
feeling it.
tell.
And we go there and eat breakfast, and I ate a full meal so I'm totally feeling fine. Like I forgot that I even drank the night before. I was 19, 20 years old.
Right.
It was gone from my system. So I thought. And
So I thought,
yeah.
here we come.
So at the next at the first red light, my buddy, who was a complete psychopath, he starts revving the engine and everything like that. And
It's a good thing to do after you've been hungover.
well, he was
Drinking.
fine.
You're like 20.
He was fine. The guy beat him to the next light, so he pulls out his paintball gun and just sprays down.
Holy fuck.
this
That'll
car-
give somebody a
this car.
fucking heart attack.
Yeah, they didn't like it. And then,
I just have a paintball hanging on
and
my
then,
car.
then we go on a little detour. And
That would get you like a felony.
the whole way home. He's pointing it out the driver's side window, shooting houses and stuff like this.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That is extreme.
I wasn't doing that.
I know.
And so then we started getting nervous. So the 2 guys in the back seat, there were 2 guys in the back seat, me in the front seat. 2 guys in the back seat got out with the paintball gun, and ran home from a nearby neighborhood. And when we finally got pulled over because we knew it was coming, we got cornered and totally taken down. I'm
crazy.
I'm only worried about this paintball gun. I'm not worried about night alcohol consumption the night before, by any means. Anyhow, they searched our car for about an hour while we were sitting on our hands on the curb next to it, and they couldn't come over with anything, so they're so fucking pissed.
What'd you do with the paintball gun?
What the guys
The other
who,
guy-
the
the other
guys
two
who
took
got
it.
out and ran home?
Oh, had it?
They hid it in the ceiling tiles because the house got searched too.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, it was a real deal.
Roseville don't fuck around.
Yeah,
It was
I
scaring
can
the
see that though.
It was scaring the shit out of people. It was a firearm being discharged
Yeah.
on a
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah,
No.
It's-
more. Or
I can
less.
see that.
Yeah.
And, they couldn't find anything to stick on anybody. So when they're finally they're taking the cuffs off, and he's like, "You been drinking?" I'm like, "Not today."
See,
And-
You've been maced?
And
Not today.
That's kind of my line every time.
Right, exactly.
Every time I get a minor. And I blew like a 1.18.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Like a point
This
1
is definitely 20 beer time at Chaz.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's.
No, this is like 1:30
It had to
p.m. at
be.
this point.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
fucking nuts. It was a day
Yeah,
long
it's a good day of
affair.
drinking when
No.
you blow that at the next day.
Yeah. So that was
Funny.
number, that
Is
was,
this
that
before
was-
or
that was
after your
number 2.
spine was completely augmented?
This is after.
Okay. Wow. Can't
Al-
get over it.
Alcohol became a friend
You need it.
And still is.
in the time of pain. Yeah, no, that was the last time I drank.
Until today. Thanks, guys.
Until he got his 3rd
And
minor.
he's like, thanks, Fedka.
Sweatka.
Third minor was a bummer and a half. Do we want to hear that story?
You
yet?
got one, another one?
Might as well.
Oh yeah.
You
I only had one in my life.
Your wife
Third,
just laughed.
third minor. I went and studied abroad in England.
What was her name? Oh,
It's clever.
sorry. One beer will get me.
So I lived in England. I turned 20 in England, and then stayed there for a large amount of time. Came back, and it just felt like drinking should be a thing at that point.
You wanted
you know?
your beer to be cold again, is what you're saying.
Well, no. Well, yes, and then I did. I liked it cold, so cold, and I got caught drinking at a party. Everybody else ran, and I didn't because you're just
like, what are they doing?
Didn't dawn on you.
Drinking legally was second nature, and I forgot.
Should have been like, I'm from
I
England.
just forgot.
That story is not as fun, but that's how that one went.
What a bummer.
Right?
You got it where you're in England?
No. I got it.
Jesus Christ.
In St. Cloud after I came back.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I was
having trouble following
Sorry,
this story.
no. That wasn't the clearest narrative.
No, I got it. He wasn't listening.
Oh, I missed that part when he came back.
Well, when I get the floor, I feel like I'd talk for a long time.
Mine,
no, we like that.
mine was a bummer too, because
Kind of the point.
like we had this one central apartment in college where we used to party every night, just huge parties, and the cops were constantly called to this place. And it was everyone under 21 would run into a back bedroom, close and lock the door, and everyone over age would stay out front. And cops would come in and take everyone IDs, and then they'd leave, and then we'd come out and party again.
Right.
And it was a 4-bedroom apartment, so I mean, it was a big apartment, and we just had music was blasting, tons of booze, and then there was one night where we were kind of taking a night off, and it was just me and like 4 or 5 of my close friends, and we were just sitting around.
Where did you go to school again?
I went to Brown College.
Okay.
And so these were at the Inver Hills Apartments,
I know,
if anyone
dude, I partied
is
there.
familiar. And
not Brown University.
No, I partied. I
No,
know what
Brown
you're talking.
College.
I know what places you're talking. I've been there.
It's right by St. Thomas, isn't it?
what?
Brown College?
No, it's in Mendota Heights. They moved it to 494 and Pilot now about Mendota Heights.
St. Thomas is in
You talking about St. Thomas Academy or St. Thomas University?
University.
That's in St. Paul, my friend.
Okay, St. Thomas Academy is the one.
Is in Mendota Heights,
Yeah.
off of 494 and 35.
Okay, yeah. Not the college, the school. Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
So, anyways, we're all just sitting around playing cards. I'm literally half a beer into the evening.
Oh,
And instead of the traditional cop knock, the pound on the door, it was just a normal, like a normal knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
So no one even checked the people. Just opened the door, and there's 2 Inver Grove cops sitting there.
I know. Dude,
And we're
I
like,
used to party there.
oh, shit. So the cop he comes in, and he's talking to everyone, takes everyone's IDs, and he goes, how much have you had to drink tonight? And I hold up my bottle of Mick Golden Light that was half full, and I said, this? Like, I've been here 10 minutes.
You're like, thanks, dick.
Right. Like, the one night we're not fucking shit up and bothering other people, and we all got nailed. And it was the night
sure they
before one
planned
of
it.
my buddy's 21st birthdays.
Was it so? I mean, I've been to parties there too. Was it other people in the building that would call on each other and shit like that? Or
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
really?
Yeah, we had a buddy that lived on the first
Narcs.
floor
I
that
mean,
was like,
that's what those fucking apartments were, though, man. And you're like,
oh, dude.
you're not going to live there to fucking live a peaceful fucking. I need to study.
We had
Well, some people do.
I know, but
a friend of ours got raided. He lived on the first floor.
I thought you were going to say raped. I don't
it's
know
cool
why.
too.
No, but you can picture him. He is
Can't rape
about
the willing.
he's about 5'7", 5'8", black dude that went about 320, 330.
Small guy.
Yeah, big boy. And the cops busted the door off the hinges of his apartment.
Did he have weed or something?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he had 5 pounds of weed in his apartment.
Well, that's a lot.
Jesus
You're not supposed
Christ.
to have that much.
Yeah. And he was sitting on the couch watching wrestling in his underwear. And these guys blasted the doors off the hinges.
Wrestling in his underwear.
Did he go to jail then and shit?
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of weed.
Yeah, he did some
I'm
time.
trying to think of a good wrestler that would look like him in his underwear. Who's the guy that would sit on everybody's face and smother them?
Adam.
Not me.
The principal from
No.
Billy Madison.
No.
He was supposed to pinch me when he was running short of air.
Oh, no.
Every word you said made. What does he say about being more stupid?
Everything
Thanks.
you just said.
Everyone in here is just
Right.
more.
What you have just said is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard and everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to convey. That's awesome.
And we would like to turn the podcast over to you guys now for eternity. Because you remember
yeah,
stuff.
we're passing the torch. You guys are going to take over the helm now.
Good news.
Whoever that actor was that played the principal or the moderator in that is, I think he was a writer for SNL or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, he was.
He was in a Dirty Work too, where
Oh, yeah.
where Norm Macdonald pays some homeless guys to create a diversion. He's like, and then when you jumped on the security guard's back and you were like, the CIA put a chip in my brain. I laughed so hard I almost shit my pants. and then
The way he delivers that.
and then the other guy's like, almost.
That's awesome.
I almost shit my pants. He says he's got a great deadpan. Like,
Well.
it's good. He's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can somebody tell me, not you, Jack Casey,
Okay.
because I know you don't care about movies or anything important like that. Some stupid kids.
Right.
I mean, I have two, but who cares? So anyway,
Don't get me wrong. I hate them, but it's kind of a commitment.
Whoa.
It's kind of a nonverbal commitment
Right.
that I've made.
right,
All
very nonverbal.
all joking aside, Jack's kids are fucking.
I bet they're pretty
captivating. They are awesome.
Does anyone know if this is real? The
Adam's kids aren't, by the way.
my kids are the goodest. They've been on this show.
The
You
Oh,
guys
they're
goodest.
see it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
The
Well,
goodest.
they were hanging out. Well, yeah, they were briefly on it.
They're the goodliest. Has anyone heard of Fury of Maul? The
I
on
think
Netflix?
I saw. Yeah, I saw something on
Is that
a trailer.
a prank or is that real?
It looks like it's real. I don't remember
Lance,
if I
do
saw
you
it
know
on
if it's
Netflix.
real?
What?
Fury of Maul.
What is that?
Darth Maul. It's a
Mhm.
I don't know.
Netflix series.
Mm-mm. I have no idea.
All right, we're gonna bring up the.
I was looking up the prince or that dude's name.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring up.
What guy are you looking up, Lance?
The guy, the guy that said that line in Billy Madison.
Oh, sure.
Jack Casey.
Rodney Dangerfield. Look at that guy. Anybody remember Ladybugs?
yeah, the soccer.
Yeah,
Wasn't Ronnie Davis?
he was the coach.
Yeah.
He was the coach.
And the kid that was in that movie is now dead.
Wait, what?
What's his name, Mike? I'm sure you know.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yes.
He was one of the.
The last thing I saw him in was Outside
April
Providence.
Fool's right here.
Remember that movie?
Great movie,
Awesome
by the
How
way.
did he die?
Great movie.
He fell off a balcony. Could have been.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah, he was in Neverending Story.
Yep.
Neverending Story 2, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. 3.
I knew it. It
3
was
was.
April Fools.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Fuck me.
Let's talk about real movies for a sec.
I know.
Right.
Go on.
Number 3 was Jesse from Free Willy. Number 1 was Some Nobody from Nowhere.
Dude, he died in 2003 at 27.
He fell off a thing.
Who is this now?
You know who else
Jonathan
died?
Brandis.
You know the Russian
From
kid, Chekhov or whatever they played in the
Yeah.
Star Wars?
And-
Anton Yelchin.
Yeah,
Yep.
he had his SUV crush him against his
His stone mailbox.
yeah.
Yep. That was a
Yeah,
real.
rough shit.
I love
Did
that guy.
Anybody see Green Room? Because that movie was fucking tits.
I didn't. I've heard I'm supposed to see it.
If anybody has any sort of takeaway from this whole podcast, go see that
See
movie.
Green Room.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
Is that, it's newer. 2000.
Horror movie level violence, but there's no like scream or I know what you did last summer.
Oh, he's in
sort
it.
of
That's why you brought it up.
bullshit. Yeah, no. There's no mystery about who the killer is. Everything is right in your fucking face. Yeah. You know who the
Shove a beef stick up your asshole.
you know
Just listen for a minute.
you know who the main white supremacist killer is in this thing is the shot caller is fucking Patrick Stewart.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm Xavier.
Jean-Luc
He is
Jean-Luc
He
Picard.
plays Darcy.
Number 2.
Yeah, he is Darcy.
Yeah,
Number
I see
2.
that. And then you should also see A Quiet
Number
Place,
1.
which is probably one of the best movies so far.
Hey, what do you
need to see it.
What do you
I might
think
see it
what do you
tonight.
think that set was like?
A Quiet
Like-
Place?
Yeah, do you think it was like when right before Jim from The Office was like quiet on the set? Do you think everybody just like we already were quiet?
He's so cute and funny.
Dude, he's good in this.
He directed it too.
I thought he did. He write it?
No,
Yes,
no,
he was one of 3.
One of 3 writers.
Yep.
I thought I had heard that he had written and directed.
I thought he
it,
was
so
given
it
the
makes
script.
sense. You know what? I'm really excited. He did a really good job with another movie.
Possibly one of 4. Lance.
What other movie did he direct? person, big brain guy.
Like interviews with 10 ugly men or something like that.
I don't think that was it.
That's the one. That's the only one I can come up with.
Are you serious?
You're right.
Is
There's
that a real
five.
thing?
There's 5 guys that wrote that movie actually.
But he was one of them, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Suck a dick.
In your face.
4 guys. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, it'll be 3 eventually, and you'll be right.
Well,
Completely.
I said 3 or 4, so I'm
No,
already
you're
right.
right. There's 3. There's 3 guys. The guys are repeated in here. Screenplay, story by, and then
I got a kick out of that.
he just added to the screenplay, not the story.
No, he started it.
It's his story. He brought in a couple ghostwriters to help, and then he fixed the screenplay that they fucked up.
He actually told his wife Emily Blunt on an airplane.
Emily Blunt.
She's hot.
I don't know why I did that.
Uh,
She is totally hot.
he looked at her and he said, "I can't come up with anybody else who can play this thing," and that is why he acted in it. And
She's
she
a
acted
very
in it.
good actress.
Really?
I mean, I totally get that. though.
No, she's on, dude.
Dude, she's in Sicario. She's an awesome in
problem.
Sicario.
Here's the problem about saying-
Sicarios fucking amazing. You know what?
That was-
what movie is actually
Live, Die, Repeat's
incredible?
really pretty
Yes.
good?
It's
She
that-
was
that movie's-
perfect in that.
that movie
It's
actually
actually called
changed titles. That movie changed
It did.
titles.
Yeah.
because
End
it
of
was a
Tomorrow.
they felt like they failed at marketing
It
wise.
was like End of Tomorrow or something like that, wasn't it?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah, and then it became Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh.
You know what?
Edge of Tomorrow was a terrible name. Remember,
Yes.
Edge of Darkness was a Mel Gibson joint about.
I didn't like it. It was like some company killed his daughter. Or something.
Yeah, it was like him
It's
and
not
Rick.
a bad name. Edge
him-
of Tomorrow's not bad. It's really what they would get to,
Yeah.
and it would repeat.
I think
though.
there was.
I think Live, Die, Repeat is way
I
better.
think there was just a lot of overlap there.
I think so.
It took us.
That was
like,
a great movie. I thought that movie
took
was
us like
great.
4 hours, but finally we're talking about movies.
I know. I tried earlier. Do you know what though? Here's the problem with being like, oh, she's so hot. Is that he didn't just marry her because she's hot, right? He obviously those people that work together like that, they want he had to respect her talent obviously in the first place.
He does.
So it makes a lot of sense to me that he would be like, gosh, she's so good, I have to put her in this thing. And then of course the star power, she's got it. I mean, she is probably one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood right now. So
Is she?
If you,
yeah, absolutely, dude. She's fucking awesome.
it might be a stretch.
So I don't want to just. Well, what movies did we just talk about? Sicario. The last scene in Sicario is fucking. She's
That
phenomenal.
little the boy in the movie is
When
like in
she's
every
like
movie
so
now.
scared, but she's a badass, and she's that scared.
She's flat out fucking terrific.
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
One of the most respected.
and she plays a fucking hardcore, cop in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she's fucking like, okay, yep, this guy can definitely kill me, and he's planning on it if I don't do
Benicio
exactly what he wants me to do
will
right now.
I think I
kill
speak.
you
I
just
think
by
I speak
looking
for
at you.
everybody when I say, "Would it kill you to show your butt?"
I don't think it would. I would love to see her butt. I agree.
Not me.
I'm excited
You
for
don't speak for me.
I'm excited for
You don't want to see her
Soldado.
butt?
No.
What about her tits?
I'm
No,
excited
I want
for
to see
Soldado.
your butt, Adam.
That could for sure happen. If I hadn't tucked in my shirt, it'd be happening right now.
Number 2's coming out this summer. I'm excited.
I
for
know
that.
I can smell it right now. I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure I
sweaty
smell
'cause
it.
It's so fucking hot down here.
You smell Lance's number 2 coming out this summer already?
Lance's number 2 coming out this
It's
summer.
really, Adam. It's not hot down here at all.
Yes, it is.
You're
I'm
just
wearing
sweating.
the closest thing I could find to a Duluth
You
sweatshirt, which is actually just
may
a U of M
want
sweatshirt.
to just buy a fan, or
It's not my house.
or lose weight.
Either it's too cold or it's too hot for Adam.
Should have had less sugar. That's bullshit.
It's too fat
It's
for
too
Adam.
fucking hot in
It
here.
is not. I'm fine. Quit sweating, then you won't be hot.
Are things getting fat in here?
I can hear you getting fatter. Give me some more ketchup. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna cut back on the condiments a little. Are you trying to get me to take off my clothes?
You hold on to a car like this, kind of like your suitcase.
We'll get Adam an internal AC unit.
I'll take 2 10-piece nuggets. Lance, you don't regulate
the
temperature down here
first
very
time I
well.
got a
and this is really
DWI.
what the real problem is.
No, it's just
Don't
it's
do
not
it.
hot. Are you hot? Is it hot down here?
I'm
He said he
fine.
was
I'm
hot.
fine now that I took my flannel
Yeah.
off.
Exactly.
I mean, and I took my pants off. I mean, I'm fine now.
yeah, now we're in the.
But when I had pants on, it was a little
Yeah.
warm.
See?
I like it. Or what are you outside? Why are you wearing a sweater?
Because I just told you it's the closest thing I could get to UMD, which is just the U of M sweatshirt.
Well, it's not the right one, so you failed.
It says Minnesota on it, doesn't
Failed.
it,
You
dipshit?
still failed.
Oh, I'm gonna shove a traditional wing up your ass.
And then I believe it says Golden Gophers
Yeah.
actually here
yeah, I
on
know
the
that's
collar.
fine though.
Yeah.
We don't
Well,
see
they're the
that.
Bulldogs. So.
Yeah, they're the Bulldogs.
It's a completely different school, Adam.
Go Bulldogs.
Completely
They're
different.
part of the U of M
city.
system.
They don't have to go anywhere. They already won it, so it's good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Mhm.
You're welcome. At least somebody's representing Duluth here for some reason.
Well, you're representing University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. So
What's your guys'
think-
favorite Gene Hackman movie?
Mississippi Burning.
That's a good one.
I really identify with most of the characters.
it's a tough one.
It's not a good joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
3 Billboards woman.
Frances McDormand.
She's in there, right? Or is that a different
In
actress?
Mississippi Burning. Yes.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
her. Yeah, that's I thought.
William Dafoe.
She does a really good job in that.
He's in it, right?
Yes.
He just like pushes around the FBI guy. Like he is.
Sounds right. No.
I have to rewatch it. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
It's depressing and awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Miller's Crossing might be where some people's heads are at right now too.
I don't remember what's that about.
That one was it's also mafia related, or not also, but it's mafia related. John Turturro begging for his life in
Yeah.
the middle of the forest.
It's is it a Coen Brothers?
It is a Coen
Yeah.
Brothers joint.
Best Gene Hackman movie, by the way, is Hoosiers.
If you want to watch a basketball movie with no black guys, Hoosiers.
Yeah, no kidding. They might as well make one about Duke. So, like, I wonder why there's a rivalry between Duke and North Carolina. You figure it out. So, no, I was thinking his older movies were pretty awesome. Of course, French Connection gets a huge bid, but I saw this one where it's an older movie also.
Careful, there's a dog.
He's gonna scratch me. You can come on. It's fine.
Jesus.
I don't want to.
He's in a movie with this one woman. He hears like a crime in the room next door.
French Connection.
Is that French Connection? No,
He is in French Connection though.
I know that, but I don't think that's the same movie.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same movie.
Dude, he's born in. He's.
I'm gonna
80-some years
IMDb
old
him.
now. He was born in 1930.
I'm gonna IMDb him.
Yeah.
I knew it was
He's
an April.
88 years old.
Yeah,
Oh,
he retired
yeah?
a while ago.
Holy shit!
Let's see, who was I looking
Well,
at?
Sean
Harry
Connery
Potter.
is like $1 million too.
Yeah, he's old. He's pushing 90. Wow.
And
that's
Redford,
Well, it makes
crazy.
sense. He
You know,
was
Red-
like in his 50s when he did a lot of other stuff I haven't seen.
Remember The Chamber?
He's really good
I
at
don't.
Unforgiven too. Unforgiven, he was.
No.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of his better roles. I could totally deal with that. Show you
Yeah,
might as
like-
well, I mean, you might as well put the cute puppy
Show
on
the puppy.
podcast.
I mean, everybody's gonna melt.
We need to see this puppy on the
Show
podcast.
the puppy on the podcast.
Who got your puppy?
You got screen
Who got your
time.
puppy? Oh.
It took Daddy 32 years to get there.
I'm looking up. All right, you guys have to carry on the conversation because I'm looking up.
Gene Hackman, Enemy of the State with Will Smith was what was the correct answer.
Oh, that was the correct answer. Okay.
He also played Lex Luthor.
Wait, what was the question?
Best Gene Hackman movie.
Oh, I thought we were talking about something else because there's no way Enemy of
Pay
the State is his
attention,
best
Adam.
movie.
No,
Okay, you've done it 16 times.
The Chamber was surprisingly good. It was unfortunately a Chris O'Donnell vehicle, but it was without him. Like if you would have put if it would have been made 6 years later with Hackman and Matt Damon, like a young Matt Damon. He's an incredible actor. And who went on to do The Rainmaker, which was also a Grisham.
That was a great. I like
thing.
that one best.
Hello, Mr. Eric Boring.
Eric Bowie.
God damn it, Lance! Open your fucking ears.
The Chamber was really good. Really good.
It was.
Seriously.
Guess what?
Give it a look.
Here's the movie I was thinking of. The Conversation, 1974.
That's it. Yeah, okay.
Yep, and he over here is like they make some plans and he's got a Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah. It, probably one of his. I don't know. Maybe it's higher rated among older people, but probably one of his most underrated movies.
Little known fact.
I know he was-
little known
good.
fact. Little known fact. did The Godfather?
Francis Ford Coppola, Lance, since you weren't following along. Let's see what you're talking about now. Didn't his daughter film that movie?
No,
She was in it though.
she was
Right, the third one?
Yeah, she was.
I have to see that.
She was
movie.
the garbage
I've never seen
daughter.
the conversation.
She was the garbage.
She was
Kinda
terrible
curious
in it.
No,
Kinda
she-
really
she-
good
she,
rating.
she acted in it, completely fucked it up. Godfather 3. Oh, she was miserable.
So what? You know what?
Sofia Coppola.
Yes, Sophia. Thank you. And she ended up
She
becoming
went
a
on to
garbage
direct.
director.
She went on
Yeah.
to direct Lost in Translation, which was quite good.
Yeah, that wasn't
related
her
to-
fault, though.
Related to Nicholas Coppola, actually.
Yeah,
And Francis
Nick
Ford
Cage.
Coppola.
who
Who still
AKA Nicolas
starred in
Cage.
Con Air as
I loved his hair in
Cameron
that.
Poe,
His hair was beautiful.
was-
who asked the existential forever question, "Why don't you put the money back in the box?"
He also starred in Fast Times at Ridgemont High
Nicolas Cage.
as
He did.
a fast food worker named Jack Casey.
Yep.
I remember.
And he was
that.
one of the friends
Yeah.
of
Jack Casey. I remember that. That's where I got it
he's
from.
he's one of the side buddies of like Eric Stoltz and Sean. Wasn't Sean Penn? Was
Yeah, it was Sean Penn,
Yeah.
Eric
Love
Stoltz,
Eric
and
Stoltz.
and
They all,
Dogs
like-
love this, by the way.
They all
Watch 'em
poured
lick
out of
my
a van
hand.
in one scene too, or something like that, I believe.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but yes, he was the hamburger
Turkey View.
side dude or whatever.
Turkey View. Puppy View 2018. I'm just going to keep
Well,
talking.
guys,
Is this you got to get rolling?
I do. This
makes
has been
sense.
super fun, but I have to. My Uber's here. I got to go pick up one of my mistakes from a birthday party.
Did you order an Uber?
Honestly?
No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
He means children.
Yeah.
I wasn't following along.
I make jokes, but I do actually love my kids. Believe it or not.
Well, I tell you what, that is actually a pretty good segue
It is.
into shutting this thing down. Next time we'll have to start movies right away because that was probably the best part of the show.
Okay, don't invite me then.
He hasn't seen a movie
Yeah,
since 2002.
I haven't seen a movie.
We'd already decided to not
What,
invite it.
what
All
about
right, that's
what
fantastic.
about my brain thing?
You're the only one who didn't make a total
I thought
ass
that
of
was great.
themselves today, so you're good.
What
That's
about my
because I was
what about my brain thing?
monitoring my alcohol intake because I knew I had to go pick up a kid from a birthday party.
And you're listening too. That helps.
Sounds good.
I wish I
Well,
knew
I could
that.
hear in both ears. It made it really easy.
After Lance fixed that. That's correct.
Because of the volume.
The volume, you turn up the volume, it works.
Huh.
It's amazing.
I need a new mix board.
I'll bring mine over.
You have one?
Yeah, it's smaller though. I don't think it'll accommodate.
I at least need 5 or 6 channels.
It's got 9, I think.
Is it newer?
It's good enough. On that note, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having
No
me.
matter what we say on the website, it has
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure. And thank you so much for coming in. It was a good Sunday podcast. Really pumped.
I would like to officially apologize to Mike's mom for asking him how soon he jerked off after he had brain surgery.
She doesn't mind.
Sorry, Mom.
She probably knows.
Sorry, Mom.
And we out.